Cool. All right, looks like we are into it. I want to do one thing real quick first, and that is just test out Streamlabs. Cool, looks like that is working. I'm now following, and let me also test out this. Cool. All right, so now your chat messages appear on stream, and follower notifications, as well as donations, bits, subscribers, things like that do as well. Very cool. So, hello, everybody. Want to play some Eternal here today. Have 2 quests that will give me a gold reward, and if I win 4 more games with a Shadows deck, that'll happen. Maybe I can play 10 units with 5 or more strength in the meantime, while that is happening as well. Let me cut down on this volume a little bit here and a little more here, because I know that that typically sounds balanced. And yeah, just going to play with my slightly casual Grimgaunt Devour deck. It's not top tier by any stretch of the imagination, but it's a reasonable deck. It's got Torch in it. It can't be that bad. It's got Death Strike. Just a lot of solid removal, so I think it can beat a decent amount of things. It's just not great against, like, the most top tier decks. Wait till turn 3 to play Slumbering Stone, because we can keep up Annihilate now and keep up Annihilate next turn. Yeah, just get to be more mana efficient. And it's not like we're going to be attacking with Slumbering Stone next turn. Get, like, arguably punished if we draw a 3-drop Thorn Beast, but not even convinced I'd want to play that Thorn Beast. And now turn 4, I've got a Death Strike again. I can't remember if there's any double red at all in this deck, so the fact that we've drawn triple black is pretty reasonable. Alright, let's just Death Strike this guy and smack him up for 3 again. Can we regenerate their guy? No, they can't. Sounds actually sound a little bit loud here. I think they're probably okay. Yeah, they're fine. I have another question, completely random. Does anybody know how to make this sound not happen every time you change your volume on Windows 10? Because that sounds annoying. I don't really know who that sounds for. I don't think my opponent's got Lightning Storm in their deck, because Felon Tempo should not normally pack it, so alright. And that's the answer. It's a Cabal Countess. If my opponent attacks with Cabal Countess, I get a 2/2 flyer. If they don't attack with Cabal Countess, then they can't block with it. Alright, Permafrost my 2/2, and Midnight Gale, and then we're going to see a turn pass. Yeah, so this is definitely a Lightning Bolt plus a Smackarino for 5. Can't imagine they're going to want to block a Grenadin drone here. Nope. So they're going to go down to what? 8? Cool. We're getting there. Short. This means I can now attack for 7. I think Slumbering Stone's probably going to eat a spot removal spell here. Or my opponent's just sitting on nothing. They didn't play a land every turn, so they've got to have something at some point here. I don't mind if they activate their guy and hit me for 6. I mean, I think it's just Death Strike on Vengeful Gargoyle is all that's going to happen here. No, Annihilate on Vengeful Gargoyle. Okay. Still leaves my opponent with 3 mana unspent, but hey, they might just not have anything. And now they've got 3 mana. Next turn I'm going to attack with 5 creatures. So they'll need to play 2 cards that interact with my creatures, or pop their hero portrait. Cool. Didn't play any big creatures that game. No Varas, but we got our Distant Lands promos, which don't think... Deal 1 damage to each other unit and each player. Huh. Alpine Tracker is interesting. Oathbreaker's definitely good. I don't know how I feel about Alpine Tracker, though, to be honest, but Oathbreaker's definitely sweet. At the very least, like, he just pumps himself, right? So, he is probably a decent card to make Shadow Justice decks a little bit more reasonable. What do we got here? We got a 1-lander. I can cast my Slumbering Stone. I can try to devour it in a little bit. We're on the play, though, so we definitely have to just redraw that. Then we've got a 4-lander that goes Dark Wisp into Thorn Beast into an eventual Vara. Sounds not horrible. Let's get some Shadow Mana. Vara also will help us towards our 3rd quest, which is the one I'm definitely not stressing the most. I wouldn't even mind, re-rolling that tomorrow or something. But the other 2 quests we do want to try to get done here. Let's smack for 1, and I think I am going to play the Thorn Beast. I could save some of my sacrifices until we get Scrap Tank out there, but still let us draw a card. It'll just help us in terms of playing that. And look, we've got a Thorn Beast for after Scrap Tank gets on the field now, regardless. So, probably just Death Striking here. Or I could Quarry. Interesting. Well, I could Quarry into Thorn Beast next turn. Think I'm just going to go for a Death Strike. I think it makes some sense to just proactively play it here too before my opponent can give their guy Aegis. So, let's just take that out. Then, of course, my opponent plays a bigger monster. We're going to have to Quarry because we can't play Scrap Tank here. Oblivion Spike is good. I think I might just hang on to this for the late game. Go for a next turn Scrap Tank. Going to take 5 here, but our life total is still full, so don't mind taking a little bit of damage. And this is certainly gearing up to be a long game here. Going to play a Scrap Tank, and then I probably want to sacrifice my Thorn Beast, but I'm not sure.
What gave it away?
Oh, Combust is really good for the follow-up turn, too. So next turn I can go Thorn Beast, sack Grenadin, and then Combust, sack Thorn Beast, killing Sandstorm Titan even, actually. That's better than killing False Prince. We'll leave False Prince there. I'll have 2 5/5s and a 1/1 that are looking to battle with False Prince. Could even chump block Sandy T here, which will give me a 7/7 and keep me at 15 life rather than putting me all the way down to 10. That might be an avenue worth exploring as well. Alright, here's Awakened Student. Awakened Student dies to Oblivion Spike next turn still too. What else could I do? I could play Obsidian Golem and hold out with the rest of my cards. What's interesting is if I play Thorn Beast and I play Combust, I can attack with Scrap Tank, because they're not going to trade both of their cards for a 7/7. They're just not going to. So... yeah. If they do trade both of their cards for a 7/7, well, I feel like that's probably still pretty decent for me. They could trade a Ambusher plus False Prince for it, but looks like they didn't have that either.
Safe travels.
Alright, here's Amber Acolyte. If I lose one more guy to Oblivion Spike... alright, vanquish it. But now Oblivion Spike can trade with the False Prince. What I probably want to do is use Oblivion Spike to just go ahead and eat this student. That'll leave me with a 2/2 weapon. And my opponent won't have good counterattacks. They'll need another Vanquish. If they do have a Vanquish, they get our weapon. But then they need to have a Vanquish. And then we're just going to try to buy ourselves some time until we can slam Vara. No, Surso. Okay. Well, Surso I can deal with, especially with the fact that I have 3 Grenadins out on the board. So I think it's just time to dump my hand. What's also interesting is that if I attack with this Grenadin, then Surso actually has no good counterattacks against us. That would mean I'm losing one of my Entombs, though. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say has no good counterattacks. What I meant to say was our weapon will be able to kill Surso. I just said the wrong thing there. I was thinking too much. But yeah, our opponent can't really block this Grenadin, because if they do, then our weapon just gets to kill Surso. That being said, our opponent probably just has another Surso in their hand. So let's go ahead and kill off the first one just with our chump blockers. Our opponent has no good attacks here, so anything that gets into combat with Surso becomes a 2/2, which actually means you can block it with Grenadins, and a triple block with Assembly Line takes it down. It's kind of a hidden drawback on the card, but it does silence all death rattles and silences all other cards forever. And it's actually like a super silence, because the cards won't come back. Alright, Amber Acolyte, that's not going to do anything for now. And another Scrap Tank. Well, that's pretty insane. Scrap Tank means that we can attack in with our Grenadins for free. And still have enough blockers for everything. Well, I kind of want 3 blockers for Surso and 1 blocker for the Acolyte. Acolyte here. Yeah. I mean, it's reasonable. I don't think my opponent's going to attack. They probably won't even block off just this. So we get in 2 points of chip damage for free. Stand together is pretty reasonable. That makes my attacks significantly worse, eh? Or my blocks, rather. Oh, Zen and Obelisk does too.
I bring you aid.
Wow, my opponent declines to attack with anything. Well, that's not what I was expecting. So I'd really like to play a Scrap Tank off this Dark Return. In order to do that, I'm going to need to do that right now. I would also like to draw some cards, but I can't really. Knight Chancellor is the only card my opponent has without a whatchamacallit on it. An Aegis. I kind of feel like I may also just need to, like, put a Thorn Beast into play, so I'm kind of sweating it here. If I get a Thorn Beast, it's an 8/8, which gives me a blocker for this, and then I just have to worry about the other stuff. Alright, let's just put a Thorn Beast into play. It's also going to make my Scrap Tank larger. Yeah. This is just the safest play. And I'm looking for a destroy target creature off of this. I will play my sigils as well. Let's end the turn there. Oh, you know what? That was dumb as shit. I really should have killed Knight Champion Seraph. Alright, I'm going to kill Knight Champion Seraph this turn. It's just not worth keeping that guy on board. Yeah, definitely should have done that last turn. Can't really attack with an 8-8, even though it's big. It'll just become a pig. Even though it's big, it'll just become a pig. My opponent doesn't really have any incentive to not block my 1/1s at this point. We're just going to try to win with, like, flying damage or something like that. There's a chance we could win with Grenadins. I don't think my opponent's going to play anything that we need a Steward of the Past for. Steward could trade with, like, an 8-8 here or something, though, too. Which is why it's somewhat reasonable. It's going to take a little bit to kill Cerso, but I think we'll eventually kill it and then be able to get some attacks in as part of the plan here. Yeah, just free 2 points of damage. I'll take it. I do have a lot more creatures than my opponent. Like, if I swing all out, I do hit my opponent for 7 on any given attack. Vanquish the Scrap Tank. Sure thing. Scrap Tank. Even more Grenadins. Oh, I lose a Grenadin even. Well, that's fine. Eventually, my opponent's going to chump block some of these Grenadins, right? No, they're going to go down to 10. Well, right now, my opponent only has 5 blockers. So if they block 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So Torch is lethal, and a lot of other stuff is lethal. Good game. I just have to say, yeah. I just have to block enough there so that I don't die, and then I get a lethal attack back. My opponent was attacking for lethal, but it was not a good attack. It was a suicide. Sweet, so 2 more games with this deck, and then we'll get to pop open a bunch of chests and hopefully get out of gold 3 as well. What is this? 5 or more strength. Okay, so I guess our Thorn Beasts are triggering that. No, not our Thorn Beasts, just the one that we Dark Returned. But that's still sweet. Get some incidental quest action there. Wow, Sandstorm Titan is broken. It even helps complete that quest. That is pretty dumb. Pretty dumb value off Sandy T. Or Darude, as most players call it. The battle skills of relic weapons apply to all damage dealt by your hero. Ooh, that took us a while, and it gave us a diamond player. Well, means we're probably going to be up against a tier 1 deck. Hopefully it is an aggressive deck, and we can take them over with Grenadin drones and torches. Oh, we're on the play. Okay, that's pretty good too. Means I can go turn 2 Grenadin drone, play the Stone Scar Banner, and keep up in torch. There's an Oni Ronin. That's exactly what I wanted to see. Alright, so Grenadin drone, Stone Scar Banner. I'm going to hang on to the torch for my opponent's Argentport Instigator, because I don't have any other ways to deal with Argentport Instigator in this hand. Perfect. And we'll just torch that end step to have perfect mana. But I was willing to let them attack with that here. Annihilate also seems pretty good. I would kind of like to Devour to hit our land drop, but I think we can wait a second here. And again, I'll kind of let my opponent make their attack first. Now that I've got Annihilate up, I can afford to play a little bit slower. If they don't do anything, I'm just going to Devour here, though. End of turn. Alright, another Grenadin drone and a Thorn Beast. Can I get a land? No. Alright, so my options are Quarry. Let's Quarry into a land. Attack for 1. And then lay out the drone. Grenadin drone is so good against aggro, specifically so good against Oni Ronin, because your opponent has to trade a battle trick for 1/2 of your 1-mana card. Alright, well that's not bad. That'll let my opponent get in for 7 here, put us down to 20. I can't annihilate this, but I can play a Thorn Beast to block it. Yeah, we're just going to say no blocks, go to 20. 20 is still a pretty high life total. I am pretty comfortable with that. Dark Return can return our Grenadin drone. Let's not do that yet. What am I thinking here? Am I thinking that these guys want to keep back the Oni Ronin? I am indeed. So, let's just smash for 1. And then sacrifice this. So I don't really want my Thorn Beast to die to a quick draw or a torch, because it is a decently sized creature. Alright, here come the Vara's Favor. Are we going to see double favor? No. And Assembly Line buys us a lot. So eventually I would like to block the Oni Ronin with Annihilate backup, but for now, you're not going to get better than just Assembly Lining. I do love this deck against aggro, because just making tokens is both what you want to do. Alright, that's a little bit annoying. Not even close to the mana to Oblivion Spike it yet, either. I think at this point, I actually want to just start attacking with my Thorn Beast. If they double block, I guess I'll Annihilate. No, if they double block, I'll Dark Return it, right? Alright. Okay. So we're going to wait till this attacks and then Annihilate here. That was a pretty interesting block. We haven't seen any War Cries yet from my opponent. So now every card in their deck has Flying and Charge. Nothing I can do against that save, like, I've got like 2 copies of that Void card. Impending Doom. And a big Oni Ronin. So I need a kill spell, or I need to turn on this Oblivion Spike ASAP. You know what? This isn't horrible. So I can smack with my 5/5. How many Grenadins do I want to keep back on defense? Looks like 3. 2 to block Oni Ronin and 1 to block Oni Ronin. The rest can die. Oh, and Impending Doom's going to trade off. No, it shouldn't. Okay. Impending Doom should have blocked a 1/1, but... Or should have not blocked a 1/1 based off if my opponent has a way to deal with Scrappy. Overwhelm on the Scrappy. Sounds good. Go to 14, go to 9. So I'm dead in 2 hits. Oblivion Spike can trade with the Impending Doom, but as can Death Strike. Alright, sounds sweet. Want to keep back 3 Grenadins to block here. So let's make an attack for 7. My opponent blocks 1, that means he's not double blocking my Thorn Beast. I accept that offer. And then let's go Death Strike. And let's get back a Scrap Tank. Scrap Tank will put us 1 more towards our Play Big Monsters quest, so I'm digging that. Pyro Knight with Flying, Flame Blast, my Thorn Beast, not my face. So I actually survive a turn here, and the fact that Pyro Knight did not get active means I think it's time to just Oblivion Spike down that Pyro Knight. Cool. 6 mana, Flame Blast my face, put me down to 5. Okay. Let's go Scrap Tank and Smash, I think. Yeah, we can smack for 3 damage here and only lose 1 Grenadin. Plus give our guy +2. Oh, he's not going to block. Alright, he wants to give himself outs, though. Anything that can kill Scrap Tank can also kill me in Obliterate or a Flame Blast at this point. Caleb's Favor put me down to 3. Alright, this guy is lethal, and Torch is lethal. We got a pretty close game here. Let's swing out. My opponent will chump block the scrap tank. Take 6, go down to 3, and it's 3 all. Need my opponent to not have a charged flying creature, a torch, or a burn spell. Good game, my friend. Flying, but no charge. And that'll do it. Tight. And because we played against a diamond player, that gave us a lot of juice and let us hit gold 2. Sweet. Pretty good win streak here with this deck. Seems pretty decent. Alright, let's play one more game with it because that will round us out here. Looks solid. We're on the play. The Dark Return and Vara might not come up too soon, but we've got a Slumbering Stone and a Thorn Beast. Both of those seem pretty good. Sure. I don't think this deck needs Double Fire for anything, but... Oh, I should have just played Slumbering Stone turn 1. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, because now I want to play Quarry. Alright, I'll hold Quarry for the late game. That was dumb. I don't know what I was thinking there. Let's just play Thornbee. We're playing a Huru Aegis deck. Typically when you see Huru, which is green-blue, expect to encounter a lot of Aegis and weapons and flyers. Like Thunderbird. Kind of just want to take a bunch of banners and try to get these Varas out there. This guy's going to be super unlikely to be able to block, but we'll give it a shot here. Need to hit all of our land drops to make use of these 2 cards that we have in this game. Really? They are going to attack here? Do they've got a Finest Hour? No, they don't. They just wanted to Warcry and hit us for 2. Well, that seems like a good deal to me. Looks like they just don't have any relic weapons this game. So I can spend 2 mana to put a, or 3 mana to put a 3/3 flyer onto the battlefield. Seems reasonable, right? Problem is, if my opponent vanishes this, or vanquishes this, there kind of goes my whole aggression. And I'm really not attacking them at all. Okay. I'll wait to see what happens before I do that. Opponent has 1 Warcry trigger. They probably won't go for a second one here. Polymorph on the Thorn Beast. Alright, well, I can't return the Thorn Beast anyways. They are going to let me trade the Dark Wisp for their 2/1. They had no reason to make that attack just to get a an Aegis trigger, so I'm decently happy about that. And I can empty my hand this turn, so I don't need to play Dark Return. Doesn't look like my opponent's got too much going on. Alright, here comes a Paladin Oath Book and a Silence on our Obsidian Golem here. This is tricky. But I actually have an out for this board. Alright, so let's Dark Return, get back Gargoyle, play the Gargoyle, and then we're going to Torch the Enforcer. So now if this guy attacks, it'll become a 3/3, and we can block it. And it also lets us attack in for 4, which is pretty sweet. Are we going to see a weapon here? My opponent doesn't have the landfall weapon.
The Tempest approaches.
They do have a Storm Dancer, but that I can kill. That's the only creature my opponent has played so far that I can actually just straight up draw a kill spell for. So Annihilate or Death Strike can eventually take this out.
Seek the Waystorm.
Alright, Borderlands Waykeeper, and just attacking with that. Alright. I'll make my trade. Finest Hour? Now Finest Hour, okay. The turn 86 Finest Hour. They should have attacked with both of their creatures then, right? Scrap Tank, that might get us back in the game. I think let's just A-Space. Sure. Let's start dealing damages. They'll be able to block 2 creatures here, but that'll make Scrap Tank a 7/7. Alright, they're just going to bounce block and take 5. You know what? I can deal with them taking 5 too. I can get behind that. Now they do have a large life-linking creature here. Also Aegis. Yeah, they're going to make it into a 4/4. That's going to be hard for me to stop. Don't really have any 5/5 flyers in the deck, at least I don't think. Alrighty. Let's just A-Space, but get Scrappy out of the combat zone there. Now, they can't bounce block on Obsidian Golem this combat, but they can block 2 Grenadins, take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Take 7 damage, go down to 11 here. Okay. It's going to let Scrappy potentially get in there next turn. I don't really want to trade Scrappy for Storm Dancer, so I might hold off one more turn here. I still hit them for... Oh, still hit them for 7 damage that turn. Oh, that's kind of not nice. Yeah, my opponent definitely has lethal on me next turn. Not much I can do about that. They probably see it. Hopefully they go for some type of chump block. They do not. They're just going to eat my creatures, give me an exceedingly large Scrap Tank, and go down to 10 after gaining 3 life off this. So my Scrap Tank is like kind of lethal, but not really. If I had a Death Strike, I think I could have blown out their combat though, right? Probably would have done it pre-combat, but they were at... Or I was at 10, right? Or 11, I mean. Yeah, that could have been cool. Alright, just going to try to win one more game here from... Or with a Shadow deck. And then I will go into draft. This hand's a little bit slow, but I'm going to keep it still. Alrighty, looks like we drew a good one there for turn 2. Dark Wisp, let's go. Definitely also want to play some Magic the Gathering this week, but I don't think that's going to be today, obviously. Nothing really going on in this game. Opponent's just hitting land drops. Eventually we'll see a weapon out of them. I don't know if I want to play my scrap tank here into an obvious weapon. But I don't know what else I'm doing with my life, so might as well. This might just be a harsh rule, which would be a 1-for-1. Because I draw a card back off of Dark Wisp. They're essentially trading harsh rule just for this one card, so it's fine. We get a harsh rule out of their hand. It's one less harsh rule to deal with when we start slamming Vara's late game. If my opponent had the Warcry weapon, like, I would have think that they'd play it, but they might just be saving it so that it doesn't die to Lightning Bolt or something like that, but we'll see. Get to go Vara into Scrap Tank next turn. Alright, Charchain Flail. That's a decent one. And with 5 toughness left, it still remains to be pretty good. Alright. Vara returns Scrap Tank. Scrap Tank get double Grenadins. Scrap Tank would be insane if he made black creatures. But I think their weapon is going to clear my Scrap Tank. Vanquish is going to kill Vara. Ooh! Oops. My opponent definitely should have cleared my Scrap Tank before they used Vanquish. Now we got their weapon for free. That was pretty sweet. I'll say no blocks here. Got no board currently. I'm curious. You know what? Vara should be good enough. We'll get Vara. We'll return Vara. We'll return Scrap Tank. We'll smack my opponent for 2. That should be good enough. It's really just going to cause my opponent to... Well, that's weird. All they needed to draw was Harsh Rule. Sure, they had more than one Harsh Rule in their deck, but regardless, that's 7 games in any mode. That's 5 games with a Shadow deck, and that's 6 units with 5 or more strength. So let's pop open these Chestaroonies, see if we can get any upgrades to Crystal. We can. Well, that's a lot of gold. That's already going to... Weird bug here. That's already going to give us enough to do 2 draft arenas. So let's hop into draft mode. Oh, and we get a bronze chest for our second ranked win. So yeah, 11,000 gold. I'm sure the other quest we can complete sometime here. And let's jump into it. I did say I was going to grab a bottle of water real quick. So let me just do that, and then we are going to get our draft on. So we do have one final quest here, which is play some big monsters. Like I said, I'm not super intent on finishing this quest today. I think we probably just are going to. Draft does lead itself towards playing some big creatures in general, but maybe it would be fun to like try to draft around it, just give ourselves a goal here of playing some creatures with 5 or more attack. That said, the only creature with 5 or more attack here I definitely don't want to take. If I take a red card, it's going to be Furnace Mage, maybe could even be Acolyte or Temper. If I take a blue card, it's going to be Static Bolt. I think I do just like Furnace Mage the best here. Red is always a little bit awkward to draft, but Furnace Mage is so good. There's also a part of me that just wants to play Feln. Just play Feln, Tempo, Infiltrate, Aggro, because I don't get to play that often. Static Bolt is like a reasonable equivalent to Furnace Mage, and I think Feln might just be better than either of our Rakano cards. You know what? Let's just take the best card, which I do believe is Furnace Mage, and we'll just see where that gets us. Praxis Displacer, probably the best card after that, but Beastcaller's Amulet is actually quite good. Obsidian Golem is good if we go Stone Scar. Though if we go Stone Scar, I might just want to pick up Beastcaller's Amulet anyways. It's decent in aggressive Stone Scar. It's not great. We do kind of would rather be in Feln. And hey, we only missed one card by going into whatchamacallit rather than Feln, by going into Furnace Mage rather than taking the Static Bolt. We couldn't have known what was going to be in Pack 2. Runic Revolver is a pretty sweet late game card. Crownwatch Cavalry is also really strong, but I think I kind of just want to take Scavenging Vulture and see what we can make happen. I'm going to take black cards mostly because I think I'd rather play... I'd rather my backup be Feln than Rakano, and I'd much rather just be in Feln than be in Stone Scar at all. Now, Morning Star is actually a pretty good card regardless, but also just so is Death Strike. So when given the choice between two options here, I think I'm just going to lean towards black and try to drift away from Furnace Mage. Maybe I just shouldn't have taken Furnace Mage at all ever because I knew I didn't want to play it. But whatever. 2/2 Lifesteal seems reasonable. I'll take it. Wisdom and Flash Freeze, you really only want like one ofs in your deck. Though it is cool, you go End Step Flash Freeze, then untap and play Beastcaller. That's obviously the combo. Would we rather a Psionic Savant or a Blood Beetle? Well, to be honest, we're not really in blue yet, even though I know I want to be. But I think just taking the Blood Beetle is probably the safest pick. It also gives us like a really good Beastcaller's Amulet target on turn 3, if we got in there with it on turn 1. Alright, I'm not going to take Infernus. I don't think I'm going to take Direfang Spider either. Let's just take a Static Bolt and start to move more into blue. Sky Snapper is a pretty solid card for a Beastcaller's Amulet as well. Jotun Warrior isn't. I'll take Warhelm, though I don't think I'm going to play it. And Feln Banner, I appreciate picking that up a lot as well. Water of Life, we're not going to play. Well, Argentport Instigator is just a really solid card, and I only have one of them. So for both of those reasons, I think I'm going to take it. There's two solid red cards here, but like I said, I don't think I want to be in red. I do actually just think I want to be in blue. I need this card for Constructed. Seems like a no-brainer. Let's take it. Pillar of Amar is great. So is Lethrai Ranger. Dark Return is pretty cool, but I think Lethrai Ranger is probably better than it. If you're on the play, this card can just win the game by itself. Hornsnatcher Bat, pretty strong. 6-drop. Levitate and Serpent Trainer, also good. Potentially more synergistic with some of the other stuff that we're doing. Let's think. Let's think. I honestly I'm not even completely convinced we're in blue. Let's just take a bat. If we see something else crazy, like hell, like we could even just take these sauropods and just be like, alright, let's be black time. There's nothing that is actually preventing us from doing that. The only thing that is slightly making us doing that is the Feln Banner. But hell, like, I really don't think we need to. That said, do I want to pick up a double splash card, or do I want to just take a solid 4-drop? Let's just take a solid 4-drop. Skip out on the Grenadin drones as well. Alright, Awakened Student. Can I splash for Awakened Student? No, I don't think so. Let's take an Acolyte. Acolyte's always really strong. Cumbre Healer's good, Protect is good, Seek Power is reasonable, but can never go wrong with an Acolyte. A second Wisdom of Elders. Not that we really need a second one, but it's probably also just the best card in these packs here. Pilfer's reasonable if we go Mono I'm the most likely to play Dispel here, actually. Alright, Sidearm's good. It's got the Dispel. Tundra Explorer is reasonable. Definitely not playing Furnace Mage at this point. I think we're in blue, but I'm willing to move it around here. Valkyrie Wings is pretty good, but I don't think it's what we want. I think we're just going to take another Amethyst Acolyte, and I'm pretty happy about that one as well. Then we have a 2/2 unblockable. We have a Desperado. We also have a Cobalt Acolyte. Cobalt Acolyte is so strong in Feln. Desperado's also really good. If we can just keep up the beats, or like put a sidearm on Desperado, that's quite fantastic. Alright, I'm going to try to take it here. And then a Savant, another Amulet, and a Rapid Shot. Oh, do I have enough to make this Amulet good enough? I'm not sure I do, but it's the sweetest card. Rapid Shot is also super powerful. Serpent Trainer's pretty good. Savant is pretty good, but just a 3-mana 5/5. I mean, you can't really go wrong with these 3-mana 5/5s. Alright, we're going to try as hard as we can to make a triple Beastcaller's Amulet deck work. And actually, I think Eastwind Herald would be really good in a deck like this. Yeah, Eastwind Herald all the way. Stone Scar Magus, really good. Levitate, fantastic. Blood Beetle or Amethyst Acolyte, both really strong. That is a tough pick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is 24 cards so far. I like me a Blood Beetle. I've got a lot of 3-drops already with the Beastcaller's Amulet. Alright, let's just take a Blood Beetle. We'll get there sometimes. I'm not going to play Lumen Shepherd. It's just a rare draft. Would I rather put it on a Flying Aegis? No, let's just take a Felon Stranger. And I think Felon Stranger is actually decent here. Detain is animated. And Humbug we are not going to play. Oh, we get another pack? Is Paladin Oathbook better than all of these blue cards that we already have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, you know what? And I kind of like the flying aspect, like of Eastwind Herald and that kind of stuff. I think Eastwind Herald might even be better for this deck than Blood Beetle. But the more Blood Beetles you have, the higher chance that you have to just get one active turn 1. So, I like Blood Beetle. We'll make it work. I think we could even make Ghost Form work in this deck. Yeah, with 3 Beastcaller's Amulets, I think Ghost Form is good. Violent Gust is also solid, though. But, yeah, let's just grab a Ghost Form. Sidearm, I think, is also reasonable with all of the creatures and all the infiltrators. Like, putting a sidearm on Lethrai Ranger can win games. Passing up a Torch and a Stone Scar Magus. Maybe Stone Scar Magus is just better. It's just a better card. No, I'll go for Sidearm. Celestial Omen is probably too big of a game. Dark Return seems sweet. I'm just going to go for a Trickster's Cloak. And then I think I'm just going to take another Blood Beetle. Let's just take another Ranger. Cloud Snake is cool, but Ranger's insane. Subvert's pretty strong. Alright, another Sidearm. Guess I'll take a second sight, though we're not going to play it. Dagger, Banner, Accelerate. Alright, what's interesting about this deck, I think, is that we could really just play mono black. I think I want to cut second sight. I think we are going to play blue, but it really is, it's a very light splash in the deck. Like, we might not want the Wisdom of the Elders because the double blue might just be too hard to get to. 4 Blood Beetle, 3 Beast Caller's Amulet. That's the real deck. If we lose the early game, we're kind of already falling decently far behind. But there's ways to get Beast Caller's Amulet active in the late game. It's just awkward because the Blood Beetles won't really be able to get active, but I'm sure we can find some avenues for them. Put our opponent in some positions where they have to chump block our 5/5s or something. And we've got a lot of ways to make our cards unblockable. Ghost Form, Levitate, and what was the last one? Trickster's Cloak. I think I might not want Tundra Explorer. How many spells do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, let's cut Tundra Explorer. It is still a 3-mana 3/3, but look at all these 3-drops we got here. We're at 15 lands right now, sitting on 15 lands. Could cut a back alley bouncer. Maybe we just don't need a 4/3 when we're making all these 5/5s. It's a little bit underwhelming. We also have all these 4/4s right here, but it is also just a solid card. Right now, yeah, 15 lands. I think we'd like to play 17. Maybe Hornsnatcher Bat is just way too much mana. Alright, sure. Let's cut the Bat. That puts us at 16 lands. We are quite an aggressive deck. We don't really need to hit our 4th land, but we could just cut Back Alley Bouncer. What else do we have? We have a Second Sight, a Tundra Explorer, some Wisdom of the Elders. Interesting. Is Back Alley Bouncer worth cutting? Yeah, I think 17 lands is just better than 16. So we go 17 lands, 5 Primal Sigils, 11 Shadow Sigils. We've got a little bit of double black with Subvert, Death Strike, and Desperado. But not that much. We do really want to have a Shadow Sigil for turn 1. So probably get us there. Yeah, I think this is probably good enough. Alright, let's try this. 4 Blood Beetle, triple Amulet. I'm even playing the Lifelink unblockable card. Which I don't think I've ever played before, but need to get those amulets online. We are on the draw here, but this is a pretty solid hand. We can't play a turn 1 Blood Beetle, which is also a little bit annoying. Do I mulligan so that I can play a turn 1 Blood Beetle? I probably don't have to, because I can sidearm one, and then I can Trickster's Cloak the other one. Alright, let's keep. I will need to hit a 3rd land eventually. Oni Ronin? Already? No. Alright, and we do get to play out our Blood Beetle. Alright, I'm happy about that. I'm happy now. Got to play the turn 1 Blood Beetle. Let's see, does my opponent have a turn 2 2-drop? They do. Obsidian Golem. Alright, Beast Caller's Amulet. We'll figure out how that is going to work in a second. A lot of 3-drops, obviously, because that's the deck. So what we'd like to do is give a Blood Beetle flying first and foremost. And the best way to do that... So Sidearm already works here, right? Yeah, if we play Sidearm, they have to chump block. But they might chump block with Obsidian Golem. And then be able to put an amulet on their Blood Beetle. Or not an amulet, but a +1/+1. Same time, don't really want to just go for Trickster's Cloak here. Alright, let's do this. Hopefully no Annihilate here. we are going to get a 4-3 quick draw flyer. Really thought my opponent was going to chump block there. Does that mean they have a death strike? No blocks clearly on that monster. And Rebel Illuminator. Okay. Feel like we can do this here. Yeah, I feel like we're killing it. I'm just going to make a beast. I think you just want to make a beast as soon as you can with this deck.
Die with honor.
And what do we got here? We've got an Oni Ronin and a Cabal Recruiter back on defense, but I got a 5/5, and I'm swinging in the air for 3. Can even make that a little bit more. I can do lethals out of nowhere with these Trickster's Cloaks. Let's just play a 2/2 Lifelinker and my Blood Beetle, or would I rather play a Scavenging Vulture? Well, let's see. We put them down to 12 here, which means next turn we've got lethal just by making this unblockable and attacking with this. So I think I will just play a 2/2 Lifestealer and a Blood Beetle. And my opponent with 1 card left in hand, if I give my 5/5 unblockable, I think that's going to be hard for them to deal with. So I don't care about the Obsidian Golem. Obviously, I want to not block Rebel Illuminator so that I don't lose my flyer. There's a few different ways that I could block Obsidian Golem here. I think I'm just going to block with my 2/2 Lifelinker. Actually, no, I'm going to double block with Beetles. If my opponent has a kill spell and they want to use it to blow up one of the Beetles, means they're not taking out the 5/3. So it's actually a really safe block there to do. Potentially baits my opponent into an awkward play. I'm pretty sure, yeah, we're going to see nothing here. My opponent has 1 card in hand. It's not a mana, and the other card is that. I'm just going to go for it. Yeah, it looks like we got it there. That's a pretty quick one. Unblockable on my 7/7s. That's why Ghost Form and that card are so good in this deck, because they let you get the amulet in early game, and then they just let you get in insane points of damage in the late game by popping them on a 5/5 beast. Pretty solid first showing from the triple Beast Caller's amulet pile here. What do we have here on the play? Triple Blood Beetle. Let's go, baby. Turn 1, Blood Beetle. Turn 2, Blood Beetle, Blood Beetle. Turn 3, Beast Caller's Amulet on the Blood Beetle that they let in on turn 1. There's no way this card's getting blocked. They've got a Ruthless Stranger. Shit, they can block it. Well, fuck me. Yeah, here you go, buddy. Here's your block. Wow. Okay, that's really good. Blood Beetle, Blood Beetle. 1-drops are so insane. We're going to just try to get one of these guys in. Oh, Valkyria Spirit. Oh, that's like perfect. Let's go for the sidearm. Nice. Look at this board. A 4/3 flying quick draw and a 2/3 flyer. So now I've got a quick draw flyer. They're just going to attack me. Oh god, we get the Beast Caller's Amulet. Let's go Amulet on the bigger guy because we know that these are both getting in. Sozy1, thank you very much for the follow. We get to hit them for 7. We get a 5/5. And I don't see this game going too well for my opponent. They could find a way to give their Valkyria Spirit lifelink or something. I'm kind of still surprised that's not trying to block this Blood Beetle. But and we get to get in for 12, put them down to 2. They're going to chump block here. Maybe have a torch to finish it off. Rampage to finish it off. Even better. Take 7, go down to 7. Let's play a 2/2 lifesteal. And now they can trade with one of our 2/2s and still die. So what's their play? They need to have like a 4-drop to clear this. Don't attack, friend. Alright, there we go. So they're going to go trade, take 5, go down to 2. Then I've got a lethal Felon Stranger, so let's just do that. Give them some solid trades here. Cool. Opponent goes to 2. We'll subvert next turn. I'm not going to worry about subverting now. We'll subvert and get the very last card that's in their hand. But they need to play 2 blockers, and they are unable to do so. So we are just going to continue to crush my opponents. Oh, plus every beast we play gives us some points towards Giant Master? That's insane. That's value right there. Alright, 2-0. I just felt like in my bones, I said it at the beginning of the draft, I was like, I want to draft Feln today. And, yeah, definitely worked out. This Feln deck is super sweet, crushing it these first 2 games here. Oni are fierce warriors, but abide by strict codes of honor and fealty. Well, I have no idea what fealty means. I'm going to look it up. It probably is like a synonym for honor, but we'll see. A feudal tenant's or vassal's sworn loyalty to a lord. Okay, yeah. I don't know what half those words mean. I don't know what a tenant, vassal is, but it means loyalty. What a weird definition. Look at this definition. A feudal tenant's or vassal's sworn loyalty to a lord. What a weird one. If you are feeling fealty to me right now, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Have a turn 1 Blood Beetle on the play. I don't think that's enough to keep a 1-lander. I think most of our hands will have a turn 1 Blood Beetle, except, of course, for this one. But you know what? We've got a Levitate, we've got a Beast Color's Amulet, we've got a Desperado. We can make some big plays happen. Hashtag big plays. Turn 3, we're going to play Desperado. Turn 4, we're going to Beast Color's Amulet and Levitate it. And just get there. My opponent plays nothing. I'll go for the Amulet here if we can draw it. Alright. That's actually a decent draw too, because that is a solid Amulet wear once we get there. Opponent on mono red, but does not have a 1-drop, a 2-drop, or a 3rd land. You know what? I'm a little bit afraid of Torch here. Let's just attack. Alright, my opponent doesn't have any quick spells.
What did you say?
Caleb's favorite, or not Caleb's favorite, Desperado might die to a slow spell or something. Chain Surge is what it's going to die to. Alright, well now my opponent's tapped out. We know we can Beast Color's Amulet for absolutely free here. Let's just go ahead and do that up. Just have to worry about a harsh rule now, but my opponent actually just like missed a land drop. That would be a pretty bold play on their part. I'm going to hang on to my Levitate because we can use it to jump our 5/5 here, even though next turn we're just going to be playing a Stone Scar Magus. Okay, I can put Quick Draw on my Feln Stranger, and then my opponent has no good blocks. What would that be for? That would be for 11 points of damage. Sure. No good blocks for you. I might even just, like, not want this Subvert in the deck, right? Just, like, just always be closing. I might cut the Subvert after this game. It's a really, really solid card, but we just don't need it. Oh, do they have a Finest Hour? They do. Alright. So they're going to take 7 here, but they're going to gain 6, which is kind of unlucky. Means they're going to be at 13. So it's going to take a second to kill our opponents right now. It's a little bit unlucky. If we had just put the sidearm on the Direwood Beast, I probably should have played around Finest Hour. Alright, and now they're going to have a 5-3. Oh, and they're going to attack with it. Okay. That's somewhat reasonable. That's somewhat reasonable. Let's counterattack my opponent and then just play a Stone Scar Magus so they don't have good counterattacks on us. So we get a little bit of tempo advantage here. And if we can just clog up the ground with this Beast Caller, then we can just get in with this guy. Really? They're going to send in with the Paladin. Alright. I'll attempt to trade for Paladin here. Alrighty. They stop at 16. Centaur Outrider. That's a pretty good card to block what we have going on. Let's subvert and steal something here. Renegade Valkyrie. Well, I don't hate that one at all. Also helps us on the flying plan. I'm going to take damage that the Centaur Outrider deals us. Next turn, I think we'll probably be able to play Ranger and Valkyrie. Ranger can trade for Outrider, and Valkyrie can just start clocking them. Valkyrie is also pretty good with the amount of weapons that we have in our deck. Yeah, playing that first, I'm definitely not blocking their 5-2 with my 5-5. Alright, now if I can only play one card here, yeah. Well, you know what? That actually kind of just makes me want to go for Ghost Form. Yeah, play Renegade Valkyrie, go for Ghost Form. And then I've got lethal next turn with the Levitate. It's unlikely my opponent has a 2-mana effect that can mess us up here. But they clearly have something. Don't know what it is that they have.
My sword is
because they didn't lightning bolt this. So it's just like a temper or something that they have. Renegade Valkyrie can block the Centaur Outrider. That's what I want. Wow, another lifesteal maneuver. 7/7 lifelink. Card's going to be harder to take down than I thought. Alright, pretty sure I definitely just trade with it here. My opponent's going to go up to 14, so I can't really battle with this. They're going to go up to 14, I'm going to go down to 9. And I'm just going to try my best to block Bright Mace Paladin and win the long game. If I draw another Beast Caller's Amulet, then we've got some really solid plays here.
You're not fit to rule.
Well, asking you shall receive, eh? I think I just make the safest play, which is put an Amulet, get a 3/3 flyer, and then have enough blockers to deal with whatever my opponent has. The only other play would be to continue to smash. I go Levitate, Beast Caller's Amulet, hope to draw a land to play the Ranger, but that's just asking for too much here. So let's smack for 3, make another Beast, post-combat make a 2/2. So now I can double block the Paladin if I need to. I can positive battle the Crown Watch Deserter. If that's not what happens, then I can just single block the Paladin here. But I'm going to double block Paladin with 2 Beasts. Alright, my opponent gains back their life up to 16 now. 16-9. That card could be a little bit annoying to try to deal with in the future. You know what? Yeah, let's give ourselves a 4/4 here, eh? I think a 4/4 is going to be better than the potential damage push that we could get. Plus, we'll finally cycle our Levitate. Draw a card. Wowie zowie! Holy shit! Well, we ain't playing Triple Beast Caller's Amulet for nothing, right, fam? Damn, this is insane. My opponent's still sitting on a fast spell that they haven't cast. I have no idea what that could be. But this board state seems insane. I'm just going to block my opponent's creatures and hope to kill them in 3 attacks here with my 4/3 flyer. I mean, yeah, this is just insane. Alrighty, Rebel Sharpshooter. What happens if they give it +3/+3? Then they'll eat one of our guys. That's fine. I can't double block, though. I mean, I could double block. It just wouldn't do anything additional for us. So, no harm in asking. This card kind of needs to get double blocked, which means our Ranger can get through. Yeah, they got to double block either of our creatures here. I think I can afford to be the aggressor right now. And I've got a chump blocker. Cool. This means I've got 1 less turn that I need to kill them with, and a chump blocker should mean my opponent would have to have 2 pump spells for their unblocked creature. That's not going to happen. And give me 1 second here. I am just going to take that print screen that I just made and post that somewhere because that is pretty sweet. Yeah. I think everything's opening over there. No, it's not. All right, cool. Bear with me here for one more moment. Cool. Alrighty. Sorry about that. Normally don't take a break, but that seemed meme-worthy enough that I wanted to make sure that I got that out there. And also, this draft seems super sweet, so want to get some other people the opportunity to follow along here. Yeah, this one is definitely going well. Educated Collins, missed your first comment there. Just added a new feature. Hopefully will encourage a little bit more chat. Your chat messages pop up on the screen now. Yeah, get those numbers in there. Yeah, we can take a look at the deck here because I will hopefully get some more people joining the stream right now. But the deck is 4 Blood Beetle, and it's like an all-in infiltrate deck. We've got a Ghost Form, a Levitate, and, well, I'll just go through it here in order. Argenport Instigator, Cabal Cutthroat, Eastwind Herald, which our last game was, if you are actually like just joining us and didn't see the Reddit post, this was what happened our last game. I got an Eastwind Herald with 3 Beast Callers amulets on it. Pretty solid, I think. And what else are we looking at? Yeah, okay, a Felon Stranger, double Lethrai Ranger, a Scavenging Vulture, a Static Bolt, double Amethyst Acolyte, triple Beast Caller's Amulet, triple Blackguard Sidearm, a Desperado, a Sky Snapper, a Trickster's Cloak, Deathstrike, Stone Scar Magus, Subvert, and then some sigils with 1 Felon Banner. What I'm not running is a Tundra Explorer, 2 Wisdom of the Elders, a Second Sight, a Pilfer, a Back Alley Bouncer. And I'm not totally sure if the Back Alley Bouncer play is correct. I think that the Subvert should maybe just be Back Alley Bouncer, or one of the other cards. Could even just be Venom Fang Dagger, but that seems a little bit mediocre to me. I think I'm going to go ahead and cut Subvert for Back Alley Bouncer. Just get another Groundling. Because 4 mana is a lot to spend in our 17 Sigil deck, and 4 mana to do nothing is pretty big game. So I think we're just going to continue on with this. Yeah, something in my bones just, if you rewatch the draft portion of the stream, something in my bones, I first picked a Furnace Mage, and I was like, I'm going to pick this Furnace Mage, but I know in my heart I really want to play Feln this draft. And the Feln deck just definitely came together, and I'm grateful for that, because the Feln deck that I landed on wound up being pretty sweet here. Yeah, I just posted this picture onto Reddit, onto the Eternal Card Game subreddit. So hopefully that will get some more people into the stream. That's true, just more creatures for the sidearms makes some sense. Yeah, it's a little bit sidearm heavy. My idea was that the sidearms are pretty good with the Blood Beetles, because sometimes your opponent does have some early drops, and it makes your Blood Beetles unable to get in there. But by putting sidearms on the Blood Beetles, you've got a 3-2 quick draw, which is typically pretty good enough for the early game, and then your 3-2 quick draw becomes a 4-2 flying quick draw, which is definitely strong. But, or I guess it's a 3-3 quick draw that becomes a 4-3 quick draw. And the idea with that is just the opponent's going to either have to chump block it early or get in there. We've got 4 Blood Beetles, so that's a lot. But yeah, a hand like this, the quick draw can probably get the Beetle flying, and then I'll be okay to play the Amulet. "3E." Yeah, 3/3. I don't know. I don't know about this one. Yeah, I'll keep. Sand's very, very borderline. I maybe could have... Alright, Ghost Form hopefully can do some work. Really needs to hit your third land with the deck, but we already have 2 of them. Our Sigil's online because we've got a Blood Beetle. Sky Snapper. Alright, well, we've got a 2/2 flyer. Our opponent can Static Bolt this, but they already could have Static Bolted it, so it seems unlikely. Now we can Static Bolt it. Not really, we don't have the Primal Mana. Maybe I should have just tried to hit another land. Well, we're killing it right now. So, we'll see how this turns out. Eventually, I assume my opponent will have a Silence or something. Felm Banner. Let's go for it. Okay, I don't know what's happening here. My opponent is only playing Sigils, and we're just playing this shit. Don't really want to Sky Snapper into this, but I can put a Sidearm on the Sky Snapper, so I'm not incredibly worried. My opponent's going to block here and take 5. I don't know what's going on. My opponent top deck a Tower Top Patrol on turn 5, but otherwise hasn't had any plays. Sure, let's play Sky Snapper. We're in range of Lightning Storm now. My opponent could Lightning Storm us. But... Or my opponent could concede. I guess my opponent just had all Sigils. I mean, I definitely wouldn't concede into a Sky Snapper that you just get to eat up for free. Maybe they just knew the Sidearm was coming, because why else would we play the Sky Snapper? Yeah, I think the Sidearm was good too, but I kind of just value playing the creatures. But, no, I guess if the only thing that, like, my opponent could pop... But they couldn't have even had Lightning Storm. Like, maybe they could have. Maybe they could have had Lightning Storm. And just a really expensive hand. What are we now? We're 4-0. That is pretty good. The only bad part about this draft is it's going to be over before we can even... Like, we don't have that much time to enjoy it. The draft's just almost already over. We're 4-0. Getting a little cocky here, obviously, as I am apt to do. Happy 420, East Coast. But... Yeah, looks like we're just kind of crushing everybody, so I don't know what to say about that. Definitely redraw, look for a Blood Beetle, as that is the deck. There's the Blood Beetle, there's the Trickster's Cloak. All we need is the Ami. On the draw, this deck is a little bit worse, but Amethyst Acolyte does a decent job, and Trickster's Cloak can give you the flying that you need to be making 5/5s later on. Trickster's Cloak does a lot of work in the deck. Because all of these weapons are good to get you to infiltrate, but then they're also good once you've already put a 5/5 onto the battlefield. Like a 7/7 unblockable for a turn, 5/5 unblockable lifelink, 5/5 flyer. All of those pretty good. And what do we have? A Yeti, Snow Slinger. So now I can make a 6/6, or I can just make a 4/4 flyer. I think I'm going to go for a 4/4 flyer. If my opponent attacks here, guess we'll just let them have a snowball. Alright, so if that's the play, if it's Clockroach, pretty sure I just want to give my guy unblockable so that I can start getting in with him in the future. So now I've got a 4/4 flyer. Next turn I can make it a 5/4 flyer and get a 5/5 for free. And hopefully my opponent just makes another Clockroach here. Just play a 3/3. Yeah, attack me. Yeah, they're going to play a 3/3. So this guy's never actually going to get in. Let's just not give them a snowball for free. I don't see any reason to just give them a snowball. It almost looked like my opponent might have had a battle trick there. No! No! Okay. Well, I kind of want to save this Acolyte for... Oh yeah, don't give him a snowball with Acolyte in hand. I kind of want to save this Acolyte for their other Clockroach.
You look lost.
My opponent's definitely up on card advantage against us here. Need to draw, like, Subvert, awkwardly enough. But, yeah. I think I just trade off again. Alrighty.
A small incision.
Yeah, the Gust was definitely tough. Clearly they've got something for us post-combat, but I'm not going to not make that block. What if they just have another Gust? Like, they either have a Lightning Strike here, or they just have another Gust. Let's just hope that they have another Gust. Yes! And now they're going to have it on the... No, they don't even have Gust? What? They just let us get a 2/2 flyer? Oh, shit! Oh, we did it! We did it, Reddit! Oh my god! Oh my god! That was insane. I did not think that that was going to work as beautifully as that did. They can double block one of our beasts, in which case they take 5, and then we've got lethal on them next turn. Yeah, that attack was super ambitious to give us a 2/2 flyer. This attack's a little ambitious for me, but puts them down to 2. They need to have a way to deal with our Direwood Beast and with our Blood Beetle, so I think we got it. That's another Sigil. That's not going to do it. And Flash Freeze will do it, though. Flash Freeze lets my opponent smack for 2. I'll play a Desperado, which is also lethal. So now my opponent needs... Could they have Flash Freezed as a quick spell on my turn? Would that have done it? I don't really know how Flash Freeze works. Or how Freeze works. Maybe once you... I don't really know how Flash Freeze works. I'll be honest. That gets us Diamond in the Draft League, and I feel like well-deserved. This deck is insane. Rhymescale Draconus, some random legend. I don't know what that does. But, yeah, I guess that was an out. You'll have to tell me what Rhymescale Draconus does, because I actually have no idea. Here we go. 5-0. Pretty insane way to start off our drafts here. I'm also Diamond, and it's the 8. I don't think my opponent had the... I don't think my opponent had the Flash Freeze on the original play there. This hand's a little bit slow, but fine. Like, we got a Beast Caller's Amulet and a Flyer and a kill spell, so I'm going to keep it. Oh, Permafrost. All exhausted units. Yeah, that card's sweet. Oni Ronin turn 1. Crazy. Alright. Yeah, my opponent didn't have any fast spells when we originally attacked with the amulet. They had a fast spell at one point, but it turned out to just be the Gust, I guess. Kind of want to kill this Oni Ronin rather than play a Scavenging Vulture. That means we're giving my opponent one more draw step to play a flyer, though. Okay, 1 second, guys. Family emergency. Okay. Sorry about that. Kind of lost my train of thought. Let's go Vulture. So what's awkward is like if my opponent has Temper here, but what's also awkward is if I play Sky Snapper into Temper. Don't want to block. Guess we still don't know if they have Temper or not, but no luck's given. Don't really want to block this Oni Ronin either because my opponent could kill it with a Battle Trick. Alright, Burnout. So now we've got a 3-1 flyer. My opponent's got an Oni Ronin. I'm going to Static Bolt it. Could also just play Sky Snapper. Sure. I'm just going to go for mana efficiency. Getting, we're going to give my opponent a bunch more Warcry triggers here, but I think mana efficiency is reasonable. That's fine. My opponent should have killed this guy rather than that guy, though, but... Yeah, I mean, it's a sweet name, but... well, that's an insane blocker. Do I just let my opponent have one more Warcry trigger, then? I guess not, actually. I just use Stone Scar Magus on whatever creature my opponent winds up playing next. Hopefully they don't have another weapon for us, but... We gave them, like, 8 Warcry triggers. That is more than enough. Don't be greedy, opponent. Now they just can't really attack because I've got a Blood Beetle and then I'm just going to Levitate it anyways. They probably can attack. They might think that I double block here. Whereas I think I'm actually going to say no blocks. They're going to let me eat the Soulfire Drake with the -2/-2? Sure, that's going to give every card in their deck charge. So let's go down to 11, charge or flying. The flying's actually more annoying. Right? Or would I just levitate? That's not even better. No, don't use the levitate up. Alright, so kill off this. Every card in their deck now gets flying or charge. And we're hitting them for 4 and then 5, so we do win this race. Oh, Trickster's Cloak's also pretty sweet, too. Sure, let's just go Cloak. That gives us a 1-turn clock now. So now we kill my opponent next turn. They need to draw a flyer to chump block. Yeah, Soulfire Drake seems pretty good in draft in general. They get to hit us for 7. We get to hit them back for 7 in the air. Good game, my friend. Oh, this guy's got charge. They get to hit us for 11. That was close. That was close. They put us down to 2. We crash back for 7. Thank you for the game, Wolfie. Let's go Ghost Form and Levitate and play our back alley bouncer. No, Shadow Sigil. Shadow Sigil. Yeah, Soulfire Drake seems just like a pretty good card in general. I know it was nerfed somewhat recently. Yeah, it could have just cycled the Levitate end of turn or something, but... Oh, you think... Yeah, I mean, I don't think there was actually any time to cycle it. Oh, I could have cycled it main phase and hit a Blood Beetle, right? Yeah, I had enough mana to do that. That was probably better. I'm not going to beat myself up too much. Yeah, main phase it to hit a 1 or 2 drop. Yeah, you're right. If I had 6 lands, yeah, I could have played a Lethrai Ranger off of it. I was thinking that half the cards in my opponent's deck were going to have flying, so I might need to like have a flying chump blocker or something like that. Because there was a chance, like, my opponent was like 50-50 to give that Rakano Artisan flying, and then he has a 2-1 flyer to block my 3-1 flyer, which would actually be pretty awkward. Yeah, but if he had a 4-attack creature with charge, yeah, for that reason, it was definitely right to do that. All right, this is our finals here against Misfit. We are going to Misfit. There's no T. We're going to be on the draw with a pretty solid curve of Blood Beetle into Lifelinker, Ghost Form. Wow, this deck is super strong. Don't really even need to hit our 3rd land drop anytime too soon. Borderlands Waykeeper, a little bit annoying. I guess we can bluff a quick draw here. Our opponent's 100% going to block. This card's actually pretty annoying, isn't it? Well, our sidearm, I think, is going to do a decent amount of work here. Alright. No harm, no foul.
I bear a message.
And what does our opponent have for us on 3 mana? Wild Cloud Snake. Alright, so I could go for sidearm on the Blood Beetle. I'm going to save Static Bolt for Cloud Snake for next turn. Could also just give this -1/-1. You know what? That's going to be the play, right? Yeah. Let's just give Cloud Snake -1/-1 while we can for free. And then my opponent will bounce block for 1, take 2, go down to 23. We go up to 27. That's definitely the best play. Just a Kavu Predator, or not Kavu Predator. Kavu Predator is not what this card is. It's a, oh, I can't even think of the name. Alright, so now my opponent has a 2-3. That means most of our attacks are pretty awkward here, but I think I'm going to turn in the sidearm and go for that. This is a normal spell, right? Oh, an amulet on turn 2. Yeah. That's true. Yeah, I know I did take myself off the double block. Yeah, that's fair. And my opponent's probably just safe to block there. Alright, my opponent's tapped out, so I'm just going to go for this. This will give us a 4-3 flying quick draw monster. My opponent can lightning strike this at any time, so they probably aren't too worried about it. But at the same time,
From the east.
I feel pretty decent about it. I almost just want to continue to bring in the sidearm beats, and I think beats are actually a pretty decent strategy here. Alright, let's go beats. Beats by No Lux Given. The newest, hottest brand. Are we going to see a Lightning Strike? We are indeed. Alright, so Lightning Strike on our Blood Beetle. We still have a 4-3 quick draw Lifelinker attacking in, which is pretty good. Scores 16-31. While not like the end of the game by any stretch of the imagination,
Can you hear the wind blow?
still pretty strong. And yeah, now my opponent's just going to start attacking for 7 against us, but we're getting in a lot of damage too. I can attack with both of these because if my opponent blocks the 2-1, I'll Static Bolt to finish off their 2-4, and I'm the aggressor because I've got the life-linking creature. I'm swinging for 10, whereas my opponent is swinging for 7, but now I can also do this, and I think that's worth it. I've got to hit my opponent 2 more times with the Cutthroat. Yeah, I mean, sometimes your hand just has sidearms, and that's what you got to do. I have to hit my opponent 2 more times with the Cutthroat, and then on the 3rd time I can Ghost Form. If I draw a Cloak, then that's pretty insane. So my plan is, yeah, if we can draw a Cloak... Well, wait, we didn't draw a Cloak. If I had drawn a Cloak on that turn, I could have hit my opponent for 6 and 6. The 1-3 is going to become a 5-5. Can't attack, but it does do a great job blocking. This card does a great job at attacking. Oh, and they're going to stun this so they actually can smash if they want to now. Alright. 7. Beastcaller's Amulet. Let's go, baby. No, Lethrai Ranger.
You look lost.
Alright, we're kind of boned, but we got a lot of life points to work with. If we ever hit a Beastcaller's Amulet, then that's online immediately because we can just Ghost Form. My opponent's got a lot of 5/5s, though. Yeah, Predatory Carnosaur, or Deranged Dinomancer.
From the east.
Definitely solid. Just attacking us with their Aegis creature. Alright, another Blood Beetle. I kind of want to Ghost Form, because if we Ghost Form, that means that our other thing is lethal. Also kind of just want to make more blockers. Let's just hold back here. Yeah, I think Cloak is really our only live draw at this point. Maybe we can get a Levitate too. Did we already use Levitate? We did not. So Levitate is also a potential draw in a scenario where my opponent is attacking me with both of their flyers here. Yeah. Levitate's going to be an out as well. Cool. And my opponent is content to just make an army of 5/5s. Not make any attacks. Well, there's the Levitate. Let's hope that they do not have a Lightning Strike. Try to attack for 4. That looks solid to me. And going in for the 5/5s. I don't have any blocks on that. My opponent is now forced to play around Levitate and Ghost Form. Can Ghost Form do it? Gorgon Swiftblade was the draw. They didn't have an answer for our attacker last turn. That means they're not going to have an answer for one this turn. Good game, my friend. 4 unblockable lifelink damage. And that's how you do it, baby. No Lux given. That's the 7-0. That is my very first 7-0 in draft. And it was quite a sweet one. Let's pop open some prizes here. I'll be popping open these packs at the end of the stream. Yeah, that's pretty sad to lose with 6 5/5s out on the board. But this deck was just too strong. I will probably cut this up. I'll either edit this or this will just be a YouTube video standalone by itself. My first 7-0. Thank you guys very much for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, you can catch me live on twitch.tv/NoLuxGiven. There you can participate in the chat and, yeah, all that fun stuff. If you are watching on Twitch, I am still going to keep streaming here, but feel free to follow along on my YouTube page as well. I post full VODs of all of my past streams as well as highlight videos and things like that. That was a pretty sick draft there, though. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, I agree, Sam Wales. There was definitely, like, my opponent could have potentially been a little bit more aggressive. He was afraid of, like, how quickly I was going to be able to push back lethal, but I never really had great attacks. And I will say I ended the game with 11 life and 3 potential chump blockers. Yeah, my opponent did change 2 Eastwind Heralds into 5/5s as well. Yeah, I knew the Levitate was going to be pretty clutch based off how my opponent was continually attacking with those 5/5s. So, yeah, pretty risky. You can't play around everything, but I'm not sure what they were. Like, they probably could have just sent in more 5/5s. Let's do it again. Not sure if I'm going to go into an aggressive Feln deck again this time. Hunting Teriax is pretty sweet. There's also an animated Secret Pages. To be honest, none of these cards really stand out to me too much. So I guess I will just take the Teriax. I mean, there's like Heavy Axe, Crown Watch, Longsword, Treachery. I never play Battle Blur Centaur, never play Treachery. All of these cards I pretty much cut from the deck anytime I draft them, except for Heavy Axe and like Direwood Rampager. That's true. They could have just attacked with their ground creatures. All right. Well, Zenin Obelisk is definitely the pick. It's also my 4th one for Constructed. The card is super powerful. Zenin Obelisk is just great. If you've never drafted with or against this card before, you might not know. You disagree with the Teriax pick there, Sandwales? Or you are just saying what because we got an Obelisk? Oh, how is this passed? Oh, sure. That means somebody took a rare in this pack if a Zenin Obelisk got passed to us. I have no idea. This card's nuts. It could have been passed in, like, not the first pack. And a Vault? Holy shit. A Vault of Praxis as well? Oh, I don't know if that's just too greedy or what. I don't need a Vault for Constructed. But part of me, I mean, it's just so sweet that I kind of want to do it. Oh yeah, I sometimes go by the Hearthstone rarities and call these rares instead of uncommons. But when I'm playing Hearthstone, I call the rares uncommons anyways. But yeah, these are uncommon is what I meant to say. I just sometimes go, yeah, I know Vault isn't great in draft. It's really not good at all. My other options are Combray Healer, Lightning Strike, Eastwind Herald, Teleport, and Tower Top Patrol. Like, I've got good other options. Lightning Strike is really solid. It puts us into 2 colors, though, which we don't actually have to be. Like, I might just want to be Combray more than I want to be Elysian. And if I want to play Combray Healer's better. Tower Top Patrol's even arguably better. Lightning Strike is the best card. But the question is Elysian the best faction? We already have our late game. So the fact that we already have our late game is worth noting. So just give me 1 second here to... Alrighty. Yeah, the obelisk is quite insane. I guess we could always, in the same way that like obelisk is probably always a splash, we could just wind up splashing blue, and Lightning Strike is even better than Combray Healer, probably. All right, let's try Lightning Strike. Let's see if we can make that work. And now here's the time to really make a choice. Awakened Student or Hatchling. Lightning Strike's also here, but I think Hatchling is better than Lightning Strike, especially with the Obelisk in our deck. Awakened Student is just nuts, though. Said there's a lot. I mean, there's blue and green here. We could just take Bold Adventure because we know we're going to play Bold Adventure regardless. The pick is clearly one of these two. And I think I'm going to go Hatchling. I love Awakened Student, and this pains me more than anything to pass what I think is the best common. Yeah. I'm not sure. Educated Collins, if you had this same pick, you may have had this pack. You can tell me what's coming next. Am I taking your cards here, Educated Collins? That would be insane. Yeah, these are like actually just the two best commons in addition to Torch. I think I'm going to go Hatchling. Yeah, the Bold Adventure was clearly a joke. The thing is, even if I wind up in Combray, I'm happy with Hatchling. Awakened Student's really, really a fantastic card. I would not sell that card short. That's fair. Yeah, I think the fact that Hatchlings is even good in Combray. So let's go. Now I think we're safe to pick up a Bold Adventure. Not going to play Aerial Ace. Not going to play Sauropod Wrangler as much as I want Bold Adventure. So that sounds good. Temple Scribe is sweet. Don't care about Northwind Herald. Think I will just take Temple Scribe. It's good early game. Horn for Lunk is good as well, but just making our deck cheaper. Like, I do think I want any card draw I can get because Xenon Obelisk is so strong. Celestial Omen for Xenon Obelisk I do think is probably good enough. We're going to have a lot of card draw in our deck, so maybe I don't need it, but I think it actually will be good enough here. Healer's Cloak can win you a lot of games out of nowhere. It's a little bit greedy. It's definitely a little bit greedy. I only missed one Bold Adventurer by doing this, though. Elysian Stranger might just be the pick, but I think Healer's Cloak is good, too. It gains you a lot of life. It can win you races. Cobalt Acolyte, for sure. Find the Way is just meh. Cobalt Acolyte strong. Hornverlunk seems good. Yeah, this deck's shaping out. I think we're most likely to splash into Huru. Ooh, and a teleport on the last pick. Alright, I don't need another Celestial Omen here. I'll pass this one. And Nesting Avasaur is just a great card. It's great, obviously, with our hatchlings and stuff, but just good in general. Don't need a Determined Stranger, a 3-mana 3/3 that pumps your opponent's team when we can take a 3/3 flyer. Wow, a Marison's Disciple. It's almost looking like I should have taken that Volt. This is like an insane Volt deck. Sky Snapper's good, but Marison's Disciple is just insane, so I will take that. Lumen Shepherd, Unstable Form, Amber Monument. Wowie zowie. Lumen Shepherd's pretty decent, but I think it's Amber Monument. I think it's Unstable Form if I want to try to make a highlight video, but I do think Amber Monument is just the best card here. And yeah, we don't... I mean, Unstable Form is cute, but I've never actually seen this card be good. Let's just take Amber Monument. I mean, that's a lie. I've seen it be good. I just haven't seen it, like, be great. Dune Phantom is a good one. Helps get us to the late game. We can potentially think about splash cards, though none of these cards are particularly good splash cards. Subvert being the best card here, but it's double black. I think I might pick up Rapid Shot just because I don't want any of these other cards. And Rapid Shot is like a pretty cheap removal spell. Let's just take Rapid Shot. I don't think I can play any of the other cards in this pack. Throne Warden is sweet. This is like the third Throne Warden we've seen this draft, but it's double green. I'm not going to play Decay. I'm not going to play Jotun Warrior. I guess I will just take Combray Banner, even though we don't have anything that we're splashing off of it yet. I guess I'll take a Sauropod Wrangler and not want to play it. What do we have? A double green. I guess I will rare draft. Like, am I going to want Rakano Stranger? I guess I want Rakano Stranger if I can get the Stranger that draws you cards. It's just a 2-drop. I'll take Synchronized Strike. I'm not going to play it. I'll take a Teleport, and I will try to play it, though. I'm not going to play Slow. If you have more than 25 health, play 5 Sentinels. Well, that's a pretty big ask. But we have a Healer's Cloak and a Temple Scribe. I guess actually Rakano Stranger is worse than Sauropod Wrangler. Sauropod Wrangler can let us cheat out our Hunting Teriax. Another Awakened Student here, but I'm not too upset to be in blue. We haven't really gotten that much out of it, but Hatchling plus Avasaur is a decent enough combo. I'm going to try it. I'm going to try the Hall of Lost Kings. We don't miss that much by taking it here. We miss a Dormant Sentinel, which is a 5-5 compared to a 7-7. Sure, that's worse. We miss an Ornamental Daggers and a Scaly Gruon, which could potentially get us to the late game, but I don't know. It could be sweet. We get some life gain. We do some nasty stuff. Mistveil Drake is sweet, but Skycrag Wyvark is just cheaper, so I think we go for Wyvark. It's still decently expensive and double blue, but I think we can make one double blue card work here, especially if we're not splashing Combray. Sky Snapper's also actually reasonable, but Skycrag Wyvert's just the best card, so let's just take the best card. Silence a unit in the enemy player's hand. This card's pretty mediocre, especially in draft, but I think I'll take it. I'm not going to play a Dispel over a Dispel on a stick, even if it is awkward to make use of. Do I want a third teleport? I guess I don't really have a choice. I'm not going to play Crown Watch Cavalry, I don't believe. Dune Phantom can help keep our life total up. Amaron Camel can also potentially help keep our life total up. Is that too cute? Is Camel plus Hall of Lost Kings too cute? I mean, getting 5 Sentinels is a big game. Alright, I'm going to try the Camel. I'm going to try it. I think our deck's good enough that we can be a little bit silly. That card's obviously fantastic. This card's obviously great. Yeah, I know that the 6/6 is a pretty good one. Another Predator's Instincts? I actually don't hate that. Is that better than a Horn Verlunk? Yeah, let's try out a Predator's Instincts. I'm definitely going to have to cut cards here. I don't think I want Water of Life. Oh, you would have taken the Dispel over the Steward? That's reasonable. I'm not going to want Synchronized Strike. Maybe we go big with a Water of Life. I really don't think so. Oh, another Terrazon and a Friendly Wisp? Friendly Wisp is pretty good, too. Probably don't want Soaring Stranger, but I don't want anything else in this draft either. Oh, it does also cycle to get to some of my big bombs here. That's true. I think I'm already cutting Hall of Lost Kings, but it's not at that big of a cost because I would have cut the 7/7 as well. I don't think I need Soaring Stranger either. I think I'm actually just going to rare draft Ferocious Stranger because I don't think any of these cards are good. Herald Song is reasonable because we've got so many bombs, but I just don't think that we're going to wind up playing it here. Not going to play Synchronized Strike, Accelerate. Maybe I play Soaring Stranger, so I take it. I guess I'll take it because maybe I'll play it. Wow, False Prince, Lumen Defender, Zenin Guardian. It's just a 3-mana 4/4 flyer. There's drawbacks to it too. Like, it gives your opponent's guys flying sometimes. I mean, we do have one other Stranger. False Prince and Lumen Defender are both fantastic. Zenin Guardian also really good. We do have this Friendly Wisp. I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy. Soaring. I guess Soaring's really good. Yeah, like, I think we cut this and this at this point. Just cut both of our most expensive cards. Because we just don't need them. And then we'll cut, like, Water of Life and Slow, obviously. That means we took a Camel over a Dune Phantom, and I'll cut Camel as well. I actually just have no idea on this pick. That's true. Lumen Defender is fantastic, but False Prince is really, really strong. I think the pick is False Prince. I don't know. I've never had to make this pick before. Lumen Defender is also really good with Predator's Instincts, whereas False Prince is obviously horrible with Predator's Instincts. Look at our curve, though. We could use some more 3-drops. Alright, let's go False Prince. Another Friendly Wisp. Yeah, I'm going to take Friendly Wisp over Sky Snapper with that False Prince pickup. Mirror Image and Twinning Ritual. Twinning Ritual is definitely the better of the two. And yeah, Twinning Ritual is just better. Another Vault of the Praxis. I actually do think this is a reasonable Vault deck, but I think we're going to be drawing enough cards that I just want Eastwind Herald as a 2-drop. Yeah, it kind of works with the Sauropod. I don't really know if False Prince works with Sauropod, because the card only costs 3. Maybe it allows you to play, like... Because, like, what? On turn 3, it lets you play a 2-drop and a 1-drop? Not really. On turn 4, it lets you play a 2-drop and False Prince. So I guess that's reasonable. Like, I actually do think this is a reasonable Vault of the Praxis deck, but I just don't even think that we need it. Vault of the Praxis is pretty slow. Like, it costs you 4 mana, and... What's a Sand Whale? One of these guys? Or are you just saying that you like twinning and you're talking to Sand Whales? Not sure. I think I'm going to cut both of these cards. I think I just want Eastwind Herald. Alright. Just take a cheap creature. I'm going to take an Elysian Banner over Daggers and Wrangler. Just make our mana better. We already have a solid deck here. Maybe we want the Blast? I don't think we do. Yeah, I kind of do want to Dispel in this deck, you're right. Oh, gotcha. I missed when you said that you didn't like twinning. You like the Mirror Image better? That's interesting. I guess it's cheaper mana-wise, but feels like it costs more to set it up. Sure, I'll take a Blast. I don't think I'm going to play it. Horn Verlunk and another Sauropod Wrangler Could also splash a Flight Lieutenant. I just don't think I need to splash Flight Lieutenant in this deck. Well, I don't know. Nah, okay. Let's not do it. Sauropod or Horn Verlunk. Yeah. Mirror Image is also better with Predator's Instinct. So that's reasonable. And it's better with Zenning Guardian as well. Any ultimates or fight abilities that you have. Yeah. This is really close, because I think we're going to play whatever card we take here. I think I have enough 2-drops. Though 3 of them are teleports, 2 of them are friendly wisps. Yeah, it's cheaper power-wise, for sure. Alright, I'm going to take Sauropod Wrangler here, actually. Then a Sporefolk. Another Predator's Instincts or an Elysian Banner. Wow. I think I just want the banner. Let's take a look at this deck already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 11. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. So that's 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7. 8, 9. We already have a deck. We can cut these. And we just already have a deck. And a Tower Top Patrol. And with 4, this is a 15 land deck only right now. But that's why I'm thinking I just want the banner there. Oh, I'm not going to play Combray Banner. But that doesn't change anything. Yeah, this is just already a deck, so I think just making it as good as we can is probably the best. I don't think I need Tower Top Patrol with Soaring Stranger and Nesting Avasaur and the Hatchlings. But it is solid. I think I've got a lot of flyers already, though. And it's definitely our weakest one. Yeah, I think I need to trim some more 4s potentially. Could also trim some more 2s. I don't know if I want all of these teleports, though Teleport really is my only removal spell other than the Lightning Strike and the Predator's Instinct, and Teleport does go well with Predator's Instinct. Yeah. I agree with taking out a Teleport, and I think I also agree with taking out Horn Verlunk. And keeping in Healer's Cloak. This puts us at a 17.5 land deck, which is a little light, for sure. I actually kind of like the Sauropod Wranglers with the double Terrazon Teriax. It's about as good as a Sauropod Wrangler can get, other than having that other card in the deck. I like the Friendly Wisps. A Sauropod Wrangler also, yeah, trimming on the False Prince, which could be relevant. With double Sauropod Wrangler, I think it actually becomes more relevant. Now we can go like turn 2 Sauropod Wrangler, turn 2 Sauropod Wrangler False Prince. That's pretty good. Yeah, 17.5, aka 18. Yeah, getting to 4 is pretty important. Just thinking if we want to trim a little bit more. Is Dune Phantom actually necessary? Might not be. Might be that we cut Dune Phantom. Yeah, I count my monuments as half a land. I think I might want 19 lands. Because one thing to consider is the monument is not going to count towards our obelisk. Unless we play it early. I was wondering what you meant by I think this is fun. I just don't think this deck actually needs a Dune Phantom. Look at all these flyers we already have. Eastwind Herald, Friendly Wisp, Lightning Strike. Not Lightning Strike. I mean, kind of, sure. Yeah, I think I'm going to cut Dune Phantom. This puts us at 18.5. Which lets me be a little bit more greedy with my keeps. I'm going to take a look over what we're not playing real quick. Horn Verlunk. Like, is Horn Verlunk better than Dune Phantom? It could be. We could put in the Horn Verlunk back in. We could put in a third teleport. Could put in Tower Top Patrol. Tower Top Patrol might be better than Dune Phantom as well. Don't think we're going to play Hall of Lost Kings. We are playing Soaring Stranger right now. Not going to play Celestial Omen. Skycrag, Wyvark is our only double blue. We could play Alchemial Blast as well. Dune Phantom does become a 2/9 flyer. But what I'm actually thinking about here is just playing 18.5 lands. Right? That's what this would be. 16, 17, 18. Yeah, 18.5. I think I'm going to play 18.5 lands here. Deck gets big enough. We have a Zen and Obelisk. Let's just not have mana troubles. And we've got some solid card draw with the Friendly Wisp. We can even like teleport our Friendly Wisps if we really want to. Yeah, I'm definitely, it looks like I'm light on 3s. I only have 3 3s. We do make up for that with how many 2s we have. Like, if we can just play a 2-drop on turn 3, I think that's going to be okay as well. And then we get to start playing 4-drops like Marcin's Disciple. Yeah, our 2-drops aren't fantastic. Really just Bold Adventurer. So maybe I do just need a 3-drop in here. Alright, I'm willing to concede that. Because our 2-drops aren't good. Like, our 2-drops draw cards and make our mana cheaper. And Twinning Ritual. Let's add power to it. And then I think it's good. Alright, yeah. So this is 17.5 land? Right? Yeah, 17.5. Alright. And if we just play the Amber Monument, I think my last deck would beat most of the decks that I draft. Something to hold back those Blood Beetles. Yeah. Very true, very true. Alright, let's get the anti-Blood Beetle deck going. We've got Sauropod Wranglers for the early Blood Beetle block, but once they give their Blood Beetles +2/+1 in quick draw, we're going to be in a tough spot. Yeah, a 0/6 flyer. We could have had 2 of them as well. We took the Camel over one of them, but we weren't sure if we were going to do a silly draft there for a second. This hand actually seems reasonable. Maybe I should have put in a little bit more blue mana. Let's just redraw and try to hit blue mana. There we go. This hand seems great. If I Twinning Ritual the Steward, then I get to play it cheaper off Sauropod Wrangler. It's kind of neat. Let's just leave with Sauropod. If I draw a Wisp, I think I might Twinning Ritual the Steward. But I think only if I draw a Wisp. Alright, well, Temple Scribe's going to be the play there, then.
It's written right here.
Dune Phantom. Reasonable. Thorn Beast Sure. Yeah, I would have had to draw a Wisp last turn to want to Twinning Ritual this. I think I'm just going to hang on to the Twinning Ritual and run the Steward out there on turn 4.
And what yet will be.
Sure. We kind of hit. Not really. My opponent drew a 2-drop on turn 2 with their Herald Song.
You look lost.
Alright, Vanilla 2/2. There we go. That's what we wanted to Twinning Ritual. Got a Lightning Strike. I think I'm just going to go Lightning Strike, or Twinning Ritual, and then keep open Dune Phantom and Lightning Strike here. I don't mind smashing. Sure, that helps to clear the way for our Terrazon in the future. And we'll end the turn. Yeah, we could have already had the Terrazon in play, so the Twinning Ritual, or the Mirror would be better in this game in particular. But Twinning also has higher upside. Oh, we could have played Terrazon last turn, and then this turn played Wisp plus Mirror. That would have been sweet. That's fine. Like I said, really just clearing the way for the Terrazons. I don't care about them being 1 mana cheaper. That's probably not super relevant.
Must be destroyed.
Yeah, the extra +1/+1 is still reasonable. Alright, let's draw 2 cards. And then probably just smack for 1. We could have kept Teleport open here. That actually would have been pretty decent. We'd have Teleport open right now if we still had the Sauropod. Sure. This is decent enough value. I kind of want to Lightning Strike this Direfang Spider. Is that crazy? Like, they're not going to attack with it if I put this out. Yeah, let's Lightning Strike the Spider. This effectively gives me another big drop. We still have Teleport in hand. Our opponent's not doing anything else. Yeah, I like this play. We have Teleport backup, but I'm still going to go for the Terrazon. It's going to be pretty obvious that this is the card that I Twinning Ritualed, but my opponent's probably just sitting on mono removal or 7-drops here. Alrighty. Okay. They got me. Yeah, I'm not gonna draw 2 cards into a gift. We're just gonna hope that our Terrazons are good enough. It's a pretty good gift. And my opponent did have a 7-drop, so we'll see if they start bringing out the spot removal now, or if hitting them for 14 twice in a row will be good enough. I feel like 14 twice in a row is decent here. But we'll see what happens. Solid play from my opponent. Scheming! Oh, that's greedy. Yeah, this is not the first time I've had a gift played against me in draft, but it still does not seem super impressive here. It looks like, well, I mean, he's a gold drafter, so he's got a decent grasp on what he's doing. He's going to Feeding Time. My big Terrazon takes 7 here. Marison's Disciple's a solid draw. Let's go for Overwhelm. Go for damages. Hitting our opponent for 7, so this is the only play that gives us lethal next turn. That's fair. That's fair. Scheme isn't greedy, but gift is, yeah. That's funny. Alright, so they're shrinking this so they can block it, but they're not going to clear out the flyer. Where does that leave us? Well, I have to use Predator's Instinct or it's gone. I just have to play it. I don't have to actually use the card. I'm a little nervous my opponent has a combat trick here. But I'm not sure there's anything I can do against that. Can trade the Wisp in for the 1/1. That doesn't seem to do anything. I actually kind of rather like the Wisp. We just force them into a chump block here if we use it. But like I said, we don't have to use it. Alright, let's just attack all out. See what happens. My opponent has a lightning bolt. They've got a lightning bolt regardless. Oh, they're going to chump block. Alright, so we got the chump block for free. I'm just going to play this now. Even though I don't really believe that it does anything. But if my opponent plays like a 4/4 or something, I guess we get to eat it. No, Charchain Flail. It's going to kill our dude, put them down to 6. And we are out of Terrazons. Yeah, I think, like, I don't know if my opponent splashed the gift. Oh, they played a Cobalt Monument turn 1. That's sad. Yeah, I think they're just, like, solidly Grixis. Wow! Double gift! Oh, wow, what a gift my opponent has given us. We've got lethal flyers in the air now. Okay, that is greedy. That, I will definitely say, is greedy. Annihilate on the Wyvark. Scavenging Vulture to trade with our Wisp. That sounds fine. Let's offer the trade here now. They have to take it. We'll play a friendly Wisp. I don't actually think I've got that many more ways to trigger Wisp left in the deck. Zenin Obelisk is lethal. Oh, well, that's a way to trigger it. Oh, I do have to play this now, because I would lose it to gift otherwise. I almost just held on to that. That would have been pretty punishing. And Primal Sigil Zenin Guardian, that is maybe the best 2 cards that I could have drawn off the gift, other than just Primal Sigil Zenin Obelisk, but pretty solid. I should have ran that out there pre-combat so that I could have drawn the Zenin Obelisk, but I thought I was going to be able to ambush in my flyer. Another gift. Yeah, that's definitely not what I was expecting. Oh, I had False Prince too. Good point. Yeah, I forgot. This deck's pretty good on the Wisp shit. On the play, 2 4-drops. I think I'm going to keep it. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's respectable or just, like, completely greedy. I think your what greed is referring to the opponent and not to me, right? I don't think this is actually that greedy of a keep. It's got some really solid cards in it. And we're on the play, so we're not going to get, like, completely run over as my opponent plays a Lethrai Ranger. Alright. Cabal Cutthroat, I can deal with that. We're even playing around the Beastcrawler's Amulet here. If we are playing against... Oh, we're playing against Finkel. What's up, Finkel? This should probably be a decent one. He's a pretty solid player.
What did you say?
So Desperado... I think I just want to teleport here and take him off Desperado for a second. But I'll just start my turn. All he needs now is like a Levitate. I guess we'll play around Levitate by playing Soaring Stranger. Oh, okay. Last OP was greedy. Not me. The Violent Gust. Well, that means he can't attack with this lest lose his Infiltrate, right? Alright, he's going to go for it. Does that lose the Infiltrate? It does not. Okay. I did not know that's how that worked. That you could keep your infiltrate. Well, let's go false prince, and I'll use a teleport if he uses, like, a levitate or some weird trick like that. Oh, if he levitates, he's just going to levitate my false prince. A snowball. Okay. Pretty high life total. Next turn I get to go Zen and Guardian with teleport back up.
A world to build.
These guys cost a total of 6 mana together. So if I can find an excuse to use the teleport here. I'm hoping he puts like a cloak on Desperado. Bam! Ask and you shall receive, my friends. Cloak on Desperado means he cannot replay the Desperado this turn without a power sigil. Alright, he's got it, so Desperado's coming back into play at least. That's fine. We'll smack. And then go Sauroplod plus Reinarch. Yeah, that's a weird interaction with the Desperado Infiltrate. I could have just played a Eastwind Herald there to play around Levitate.
Don't make me angry.
I think we're just going to be able to play the long game and eventually get Zen and Guardian online here. See, I could trade Reinarch for a 4/4. I think we'll have to do that eventually. You know what? I might want to do that. So if I trade Reinarch for 4/4, next turn I get to turn this into an 8/8 and bash with it again. Sure. I don't have to be the aggressor here. But otherwise, it's just going to be really hard for the Zen and Guardian to attack. Maybe that's just a little bit too greedy. It probably was. Static Bolt on the Guardian. Now I'm left with nothing. Static Bolt on the Sauropod Wrangler. Alright, I'm actually left with nothing. My opponent's going to use Desperado to kill Herald, but now I'll get the Desperado out of the way. Alright, my opponent kills me in 2 turns. Oh, that's fair. Yeah, if the rules are consistent, that's fair. I just wasn't sure. Alright, and we're dead. Good game, my friend. It looks like I should have played defensively. Oh, jeez. That's pretty embarrassing. Alright, well, we lost to Finkel. Not a huge deal. Gotta lose some sometimes, I suppose. Lose some draft juice as well. We're 1-1, though. I think we can still pull this out. Some decently long queue times here. You'd rather just not lose? I guess that's a solid play. Do you stream, Sandwells? I have, I've never caught your stream, but I always see you in chat. You are a good, productive member of the chat, so I'll give you that at the very least. False Prince is fantastic, but I think I just want to try to hit some more sigils. Alrighty. Predator's Instinct's not going to do too much for us to start off the game here. You have double killer to that card. How does Predator's Instincts work with a card that already has killer? Can something have killer twice? Not sure. Oh, okay. But, you are a top drafter? Gotcha. Gotcha. Cool.
Easy, big guy.
If we play like the Friendly Wisp, we play around Beastcaller's Amulet. I'm not sure how likely that is. I think we're probably playing an Amber Monument here rather than a 5/5, but... Oh, you're #1 drafter? That's pretty sweet. Please not this. Alright. That's fine. I just hate when they take an Echo card because they get 2 copies of it. Oh. Oh no. I don't think my opponent had to do that at all. Sweet. Oh, Man and Mouse. Recognize him. Have had some sweet games against him. Melting Cortex, Fuel Cell. Educated Collins, you are also in the top tier of drafters. Did not realize. This is just where all the top tier drafters are hanging out today? Good shit, dudes. Hey, it's early enough in the season. I'm top 100 here with... What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Top 100 drafters with barely any points into it. 91st. Who else do we got here? Strax, are you also in the top 100? Sir Divine. Don't recognize Mystic. We've played against him before. Yeah. For sure. Is ranked already filled out with 100 people? Yeah, I guess ranked you can get in like a few days really, but can only do so many drafts in a day. Well, I definitely appreciate all you guys hanging out here. That's pretty cool. I'll start taking what you guys say with a little bit more grain of salt then maybe. Misfit, we've played against him more than a few times as well. Manus. Partially, and just like recognizing the players that are in the same time zone as me as well. No looks given. I've heard this guy is quite insane. Oh wait, did I want to change something about this deck? No, that was the last deck, right? I wanted to take out the Subvert. This deck's good. Well, I do appreciate all your guys' feedback. A lot of the information in this game is obviously transferable from Magic the Gathering. Let's redraw. Let's just, I mean, at the very least, let's just look for Zen and Obelisk, right? There we go. Oni Ronin? Alright, good shit. We doing it. All we need is one more land, and I think we pretty much win. Though if we can get our 5th land, I'm not going to complain.
I'll find my way.
Hopefully no Trickerinos here. Heavy Axe. Alright. You got a big boy. We can get a Death Toucher. so that's pretty cool. Kind of want to play a Kobold Acolyte here, because I think I just want to get dudes on the board. Kobold Acolyte's going to be really strong once we get the Terrazon online, but we might just not need it.
Take to the
Yeah.
skies.
Let's not worry about giving the Terrazon flying. Let's just worry about surviving until then. And just playing Marison's Disciple gives us the option to triple block, but also gives us the option to Death Touch block next turn while still having blockers for my opponent's other cards. Alright, well I guess I'm just triple blocking or double blocking Zenin Destroyer now, hoping to draw a land to make a Death Toucher. Alrighty, double block it is. We'll find out if my opponent has any fast spells the hard way. They do. They've got a quick draw. No, they've got a rampage. Alright. It's going to keep their guy alive. We take 3 more damage. Wait, it didn't keep their guy alive. It didn't keep their guy alive! Oh, holy shit. Okay, so they just sacrificed their guy. Alright, we now have 2 turns to draw a land because we've got 2 chump blockers. I don't think I want to go to 1 against this deck. So I think I am just going to start chump blocking here. Makes me dead to temper. That's crazy. Alright, Dark Return on the Zenin Destroyer. Glad we didn't go to 1.
The throne must
Though actually we'd have a better play here if we had. If we'd gone to 1, we could have double blocked the Zenin Destroyer with the 2/2 and the Hatchling. I will have to go to 3 here. I don't think there's any way around that. Sidearm on this guy. Alright, so do we go to 1 then? How do we make that happen? Yeah, I mean, we clearly are going to have to go to 1 sometime. So let's go to 1 right now. Plan here is to chump block this next turn while playing a Towering Terrazon to block this. Didn't get there. Okay. Yeah, I really wanted to play a Towering Terrazon and then Healer's Cloak it. Right now we're going to have to trade with this and chump block here. So I think part of the way that we win this game... I guess let's just play Steward now because it's now or never on the Steward. We need to draw another 2-drop so that we can go Sauropod Wrangler 2-drop in 1 turn. So we definitely want to hang on to that. Or drawing another land lets us play Hatchling and Sauropod Wrangler. So let's start with Steward of Prophecy. No card. We got to hope that it is a Sigil in my opponent's hand. Though if it was a spell, they could have already killed us. I guess if it's like another Sidearm, that could be awkward. Or another Dead Return, Dark Return. Burnout. Alright, well that'll do it too. Good game, my friend. Alright, probably no longer in top 100, but we're 2-2 on this draft. I think we can win out. This is going to be the last draft of me for the stream. So I'll be wrapping up after this one. Turn 2 Bold Adventure, turn 4 Zenin Guardian, and we've got enough to play the Amber Monument almost already. Seems solid. Unfortunately, Sauropod Wrangler does not work with Amber Monument because it discounts it, but you still need 5 lands to play it. Jeez, Argenport Instigator already. Alright.
I'll find my way.
Guess we can potentially try to double block it next turn. The one thing that's weird about this game, and I'm not sure if anybody that can like confirm it or deny it, you seem to play people based off your rank, potentially more than you play them based off of your record in the draft, which means that like drafting a bad deck can be a little bit more punishing than it necessarily has to be. I guess I just want to teleport here. Yeah. So if you draft a bad deck, you get kind of punished, and you also can't like just draft like a fun deck, because if you're already diamond, then that means you're going to play against other diamond players. I don't want to take a bunch of damage from this, but
Easy, big guy.
I want to put my Teriax on the board too. We also like are potentially negative tempoing ourselves, because now my opponent can play removal spells and also kill our guys at the same time. Opting to take a lot of damage here against a Stone Scar deck, but going down to 9. Piercing shot, killing this and me, and then one more to me. Yeah, I guess I can't really afford to do anything other than teleport here. Right? I mean, I could hatchling, go down to 1. If I go down to 1, yeah, it's just so risky. Means if they have any type of kill spell, anything. But I also just have a lethal by making this play. Alright, it's not worth it. I think I can stabilize here. Take 1. Next turn I can block with the Teriax. And just keep back my Terrazon to block.
The throne must be destroyed.
Alright, well, Zenon Destroyer means my opponent's clearly got something, right? I can chump block worst case scenario, but they're going to gain life back. Let's go for the Teriax block. I mean, they clearly have something here, but a sidearm on the Vulture would actually be a little bit annoying too. I guess they have quick draw, but they're only going to get to use one of them. What? Primal Sigil Lightning Storm?
A single
Okay.
shot is all it takes.
Okay, they're at 3. I'm at 5. Okay, yeah, Plague was definitely not A lightning storm last turn. That's all she wrote. Okay. I don't know why they played a Zenin Reckless guy into my Terrazon. It's a little strange. Like, they just should have played Argenport Instigator first, and then the Zenin guy second, and try to get through some damage. That's a clear redraw. We are on the play here. And hopefully Fortune can smile on us both. Well, I got a handful of 2-drops and 2 mana, so it's not the worst thing that's ever happened to me.
Easy, big guy.
Let's start wrangling. Next turn I'll play Sauropod Wrangler. The turn after that I'll play a 6/5.
You look lost.
Alright, Lethrai Ranger. I guess I'll play a Bold Adventure into that. Let's smash first.
I'll find my way.
Even if my opponent finds a way to get through here, like with a Levitate, I still have double block options where I just trade Bold Adventure for their 4/4 anyways, so not a huge deal. Not super worried. Gorgon Swiftblade. And there's the Terrazon. Just play Sauropod.
Easy, big guy.
Alright, next turn Terrazon. That'll be sweet. Actually really making use of our Sauropods here. If we can make it happen.
Follow my lead.
Alright, would love to get... Should I actually just go for Dune Phantom here? My opponent is on Mono Infiltrate. I'm kind of digging Dune Phantom. That also potentially gives us the option to Twinning Ritual the Terrazon, though I do think we're going to wind up Twinning Ritualing the Wyvark. Yeah, let's just go Dune Phantom. It seems safe enough to me. And we should win the long game here. This also lets my opponent play any Beast Caller's Amulets or silly things like that. The Dune Phantom is alive and well. Oh, and they're going to execute a Dune Phantom? I feel like that's insane for me. Take out one of our Sauropods. Yeah, that winds up being maybe better than my opponent knows. So now if my opponent swings out, don't really even have good blocks. Can't let this guy turn online ever. So I'm going to double block this and take 4. Or take 2, let them have a 4/4. So what do I want to buff up? My opponent's going to be able to kill the Sauropod Wrangler, so let's forget about Terrazon. And I think let's just make another Soaring Stranger if I get stuck on 4 mana for a second. Yeah, I think my opponent goes A-space here.
Can you hear the wind?
No, they're just going to attack for 3. Get a pair of 3/3s, but now I've got a 4/4 flyer to deal with that. Okay.
From on high, we strike.
Alright. If I had taken the Skycrag Wyvark, I could have fought and killed the Windshaper, but not a huge deal. We've still stopped our opponent's attacks here for a second. Alright, that's going to be tough. Play the Terrazon so that this guy can't attack and we don't take any more damage. You know what? I probably should have saved the Terrazon if I draw a Wisp. Alright, my opponent's going the flying route. So I can kill the Lethrai... I don't think I have to worry about the Lethrai Ranger or the Gorgon Swiftblade anymore. They're probably okay. I think I just want to clear off flyers. The other thing is, like, my opponent does actually have reasonable attacks, but this guy's going to get bigger if I kill anything else. Oh, but I also could have just traded with... Yeah, maybe that was bad, but... My opponent still doesn't have any great attacks. That's the point, to just keep them on no great attacks. And then I guess try to win with Zen and Guardian. One more blue mana, and this card's going to have flying and Aegis, but we can double block it.
A world to build.
Which I guess means I'm taking one hit from it. Maybe I could have also waited till I drew Zen and Obelisk to play the Wyvark. One more land and I've got an 8-8. How does my opponent deal with an 8-8? Well, they can triple block it with Champion. I don't think they're going to want to triple block with Champion. They could let it take out some flyers. What's up, Kaleri? How you doing, my man? I think I do want to attack with an 8-8 here. What's my opponent's best block? Gorgon and 2 flyers, and then we control the air? Then we just hope to hold... but then we don't control the air anymore if they get another primal mana. At the same time, these attacks are going to get... These attacks are going to get much worse after my opponent has Champion of Cunning online. So they are going to go for the triple block, and I'm going to take out 2 of their flyers here. Alright. It's probably all I can ask for. 12 mana to kill 2 flyers is still somewhat reasonable. Alright, that guy's not touching me. Argenport Ringmaster, you can go fuck yourself, my friend. But now look at this. We now control the air. So we can trade Wyvark for 3/3, smack him for 4. That's a long time coming, but it's still a 5-turn clock here. And then we get to play a replacement 5/5 and a 3/3 flyer. Oh, it's actually 7 in the air every turn, so that's a 3-turn clock. That's not bad. We've engineered a win out of a really crazy swarm from our opponent, and we're actually beating them on life points even, though this can't touch us. This actually can touch us now, as strange as that is, and they've got nothing to show for it other than a Gorgon Swiftblade. If this was a Shadow Sigil, though, they'd play it. And if it was a Primal Sigil, they'd play it. Holy shit. What's 9 plus 9? 18. 1 off. At the same time, I like me a 6/6 flyer, and if I'm going to do it, I should do it now. The 6/6 flyer is actually just going to trade with this. If my opponent gets 1 more flying mana, they can trade 6/6s. Shadow Sigil! Oh, that's so close. Haunting Scream? What's coming at us? Oh, it's a Serpent. Alright, so my opponent's going to have a 3/3 that they can trade off with this. It's fine, I couldn't play around that. So they have a 3/3. We're going to try to hit him for 6 and 6 here. If my opponent draws a Primal Sigil, we got a game. No Primal Sigil. No Primal Sigil. Come on, baby. No Primal Sigil. Oh, be a Shadow Sigil. Be a Shadow Sigil. Come on, you. Oh, they're looking at it. Dark Return. That's an interesting one. Get back the Serpent Trainer with charge again.
Follow my
Smack us. They're going to have to chump block with it, though. But then they've got a 4/4. That's pretty cool. Alright, so here's a chump block. That was a pretty live draw for my opponent. Gave them a chump blocker for 2 turns here. So chump block, hopefully. No primal sigil. No primal. Shit. Now they have a 6/6 flying Aegis. They attack with it. They shouldn't. They should attack with their 4/4. And then we're going to have a stall again. Oh, I don't like attacking with it here. If they attack with it, that means they've got a chump block with their 4/4. I guess they want to make that trade. Yeah, they really shouldn't. They don't want to leave themselves open to teleport losing them the game either. Right now we can still make a pretty sweet teleport play if we bounce their Windshaper at some point, because Windshaper doesn't have Aegis, even though this guy does. They should attack me with their 4/4 and leave back their Aegis guy to block. Temple Scribe is a solid draw. Let's see a Zenon Obelisk, please. Predator's Instinct. Okay, well, I can give my Tarazan Killer and kill this, but that still just means I'm trading Soaring Stranger for Champion of Cunning. We need my opponent to play a 1-health creature, and then I'm going to put Predator's Instincts on my Reinarch and kill them like that. Sounds like a sweet way to kill them. Alright, we need them to play a Dark Wisp. Let's see it. Show me Dark Wisp. Dark Wisp or a... Alright, there's a Friendly Wisp. Need them to play a Wisp of some sort. And then we've got an awesome lethal. Cabal Cutthroat is not going to cut it. What I can do here is give a Death Touch guy fight and trade off with Champion. Or maybe I should have just traded off this with Champion previously. Would that have been a better play? Probably. Alright, let's not beat ourselves up for it. Because Death Touch does get through Aegis. To be honest, I think I just forgot about the fact that Death Touch gets through Aegis. Also, don't know if I really wanted to just throw away my Tarazan.
What would you like?
But I will throw away a Death Toucher. Okay. So now my opponent has to chump block. They have one more turn to draw something live here. Oh, I should have swung with the Wisp, too. That was a mistake. It probably won't be super relevant. But my opponent should be at 3 right now. Eye of Winter to stun this. Alright, turns out it's going to be extremely relevant, as my opponent should be at 3. A Hatchling seems like a live draw. Again, should have played this pre-combat to try to find Zenon Obelisk, because I get to draw 2 cards here. No, False Prince and Teleport. Well, Teleport's a great one. Sure.
What gave it away?
A gift from the east.
Alright, so my opponent is planning on chump blocking with this, stunning this, and we will teleport their 2/3 flyer. Very close game. Good game, my friend. They'll gain 2 life, but they'll take 6 damage in the air. So, we can feel free to ace base. They'll just take it all, and we'll deal a bunch more damage to them. Which is just a little bit sweeter than hitting them for 6. Put them down to -26. Good game, Carthago. That was definitely a sweet one. They had the aggression from us at the beginning. Yeah, that was a sweet game. We were able to just control the air and therefore control the game. Alright, Misfit, another top 100 drafter here. This hand looks solid. It doesn't have the mana to play False Prince, which is definitely a drawback of it, but It's got the Primal Sigils. Oh, that was the change I was going to make to this deck. I was potentially going to put in another Primal Sigil for a Time Sigil. Well, kind of glad we didn't do that then. Though definitely still could use a Time Sigil here. Then I can make the sick play that I was talking about of turn 2 Sauropod Wrangler into turn 3 Sauropod Wrangler False Prince. Alright. Time Sigil and we can do it. Alright, Camel up. No, Healer's Cloak. Okay. Yeah, I'll just play the Sauropod Wrangler. I'm not in any rush to play out Dune Phantom here. My opponent played a Twinning Ritual. I didn't get to see if they echoed or not. But looks like we could be against some rather tough stuff here.
From on high, we strike.
Namely, if my opponent has Thunderstrike Dragons, that is a real problem.
My treasure.
Oh, it could have just been Explorer Emeritus that they doubled up on. That seems a little bit greedy. They're gaining 2 life a turn here. Jeez, how do I take them out?
Take it to the skies.
Alright, let's just start attacking, seeing what we can make happen out of this. I feel like my opponent has way too much value for me to have even a chance here. They're at 25 and 7 cards in hand. Alright, Hatchling was what they Twinning Ritualed. Alright, we'll offer to trade the... Right, left. Maybe I should have just kept that back on defense. Yeah, I guess that's better. I don't really feel like there's any way I can win this game. If the game goes too much longer, we can't just win. My opponent's gaining 2 life and drawing 2 cards every turn. Maybe I meant to just swing with the... I don't even know. There's probably no good attacks there. Alright, well, if my opponent keeps drawing 2 cards a turn, maybe we kill them in 15 turns. Seems pretty unlikely to. Oh, an 8-8? What do? Do I teleport their 8-8 back? No, I guess I double block it and lightning strike it. Alright, that's reasonable. Still surprisingly, like, we're not just dead because our opponent isn't actually doing anything against us here. They don't have any good attacks either.
Safe travels, friend.
So maybe we can win the super long game. Another Zenning Guardian. That's going to be a problem. I actually just kind of need to Wyvark that. Guess I could teleport it now. Yeah, I don't see any way out of this one. I'm trying to think. The first step is like drawing a static bolt to kill this Emeritus. Teleport's negative card advantage, and my opponent has so many card advantages already, but it's just nothing I can do. There's one play, like, I need to put a Healer's Cloak on this so that when they double block it, I can teleport something, but that just takes so much time. Teleport actually does give us card advantage if we're bouncing our Wyvark, but I just don't have the time to do it.
Easy, big guy.
I need to teleport their Guardian again. And then I need to Wyvark it next turn. Like, I just can't beat an 8/8. Maybe I can beat an 8/8. It seems incredibly tough, though. And I'm not going to teleport it again later, so...
A world to build.
I see them.
Alright, so I think I trade Wyvark for Zenning Guardian. Then I need to draw a Static Shock. It's really not great. My 5-mana... Like, Zenning Guardian already 3-for-1'd me. But I just don't think I'm beating an 8/8. I need to hang on to this Wisp for a minute here. I don't think my opponent's going to attack with a 2/1 flyer, though, anyways. But hanging on to this Wisp for a second lets me play Terrazon. Okay, well, that'll do it. That's insane. Surprised they didn't use Bold Adventurer on that to, like, get the Infiltrate guy through. Alright, they used up a lot of their killers, but, like, I mean, I'm dead. I'm super-duper dead. It just took my opponent a while to make it happen. Right, now they get to kill the Terrazon. Next turn I get to go False Prince plus Healer's Cloak, probably. Stuck on 3 lands for a while. Guess the hand was a redraw. Alright, if I really need to here, which I think I do... Oh, I'm just dead? Oh, I thought I was going to be able to Healer's Cloak the Terrazon. Oh well. Good game, Misfit, and that will be the end of my stream, so thank you guys very much for watching. Ended it 4-3 here. Not too shabby. The other draft was insane, and we still wound up, ooh, with a crystal chest. Still wound up ahead on gold here for the day, I believe, right? Nah, probably not. We lost 2,000 gold in this one, gained 1,000 gold in the other one, so probably lost a little bit of gold. Yeah, 11,500. Let's open up these packs here, and then I will do my sign-off. Striking Snake Formation seems apt, as we just lost to that card. Copper Hall Elite. Another Striking Snake Formation. Oh, God. I can't even. I can't even. Oh, get me out of here. Get me out of here, Striking Snake Formation. I don't even care. Alright, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the stream, feel free to hit that follow button. Also, catch me on YouTube, where I post VODs of my full streams, as well as highlight videos and different instructional things and stuff like that. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, feel free to catch me live on twitch.tv/NoLuxGiven. Stream Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, till about 6 o'clock East Coast time. Thank you, Collins. Thank you, Whales, Strax, Snake, and Kaleri, and everybody else. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you had fun. There were some fun games, and I definitely had fun too. If there is somebody else drafting, I will give them a host. Let's see. Let's see. I'm not sure if they are... Doesn't look like anybody else is drafting. Educated Collins, thank you very much for the follow, my friend. Appreciate it. And I will see you around. Doesn't look like anybody else is drafting. Let's just pick somebody random then. Alright, well, I've got a D6 in my pocket, so... Alright, that is going to be Tony G. Oops. So what do I do to a host? Do you guys know? Is it exclamation point host? No, it's / host. Alright, thank you guys very much for watching. I'm out. Have fun. Thanks for watching. Peace.